Hi and welcome to definitely the first episode back from Christmas. There was not another episode. This is absolutely. This is absolutely
we
the
took
first one.
January off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't do
Yeah.
another episode before this
There's
one.
no episodes that will forever remain hidden from the world.
I need to listen to it. I still haven't listened to it. I will. My fear is that I'm gonna get up to the bit where Owen threatens to.
No spoilers, no spoilers.
Okay.
No spoilers, they're never gonna know. We just keep it hidden.
It's a mystery episode. I'm gonna get up to.
Owens.
Yeah.
Just know, just for anyone who listens, just know I did something amazing and crazy. And
Crazy is the right word.
Yeah, crazy, amazing.
Amazing, for sure. But yeah, I'm worried I'm gonna get to that bit and just be like, oh
Well,
god.
after the backflip. No way.
But yes,
Backflip, there was at least 3 of them.
which you can't see because it's an audio-based podcast.
No,
but it was incredible. It
We
was.
beamed the image directly to people's minds.
We did. But yes, anyway. Last episode wasn't very organised. But this episode I've made an effort to be more organised.
Oh, Thomas,
I'm feeling more creative, more energised after having sorted out all this Masters bullshit. So, we're back on track, ladies and gentlemen, with... You ready? Some news, everybody.
Yay!
We didn't have news. I got loads of news. Look, there's months. No. Months?
Month?
2 months, because a bit of December and a bit of January.
Yeah.
Now a bit of February. Life is crazy. Life moves on at a rapid speed. But we've got a lot of news to get through. But I'll be honest, I'm a bit lazy. I got up to like the 12th article that I was reading, and it was only like of last week, and I was like, I'm not going back and doing the past couple of months.
I think we've recovered everything.
Yeah.
Then we'd be here all week.
I feel like if you listen to this and you care about games, you probably know about the news from the past couple of months. So
We don't need to be super specific.
Yeah.
We can just
quick
recap.
Anyway, the news of recently though, I'm gonna start off with the saddest and most abhorrent piece of news
Cool. Let's
because
start
it's
with
horrible. But then we'll move on to happy news.
Okay.
Okay.
Promise me we'll move on to happy news.
Everything else is happy, I'm pretty
Oh.
sure, or at least like not as depressing as this.
Alright.
21-year-old Nintendo hacker.
Oh, that's today news.
I know it is. Has pleaded guilty to the charges of not only hacking and releasing Nintendo secrets, but also amassing thousands of images and videos of child pornography. 21-year-old dude.
No.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Having previously been caught hacking Nintendo in 2016, Ryan Hernandez had promised, this is a quote, promised to stop any further malicious activity and confirmed that he understood the consequences of further hacking. However, after bragging on Discord and other social media, the FBI once again raided his house and found the pornography as well as thousands of Nintendo's files. He could serve up to 25 years in prison.
He is a massive idiot, though.
What a
isn't he?
moron! What a fucking moron! Like, why would you? Why would you continue
Why
hacking?
would you? You know they can catch you,
Yeah,
so why brag about it?
but also like they've caught
then-
him before.
Yeah,
Like,
like they're watching.
what
him.
did he think was
They're
gonna
literally
happen?
staring right at him, going, "Don't you do it?" And then he goes, "Hey, look at this thing," and you're like,
Why would you keep doing it? I mean, obviously the worst part is the fact that he has a whole bunch
yeah,
of
yeah,
child
that,
pornography.
like- I can only imagine like being. I think it was. Did they say FBI? Is it?
Yeah, it's FBI. Yeah.
But imagine being the FBI agent that just thought you were investigating some like thing against some big corporation where it's like, yeah, it's very illegal, but at least it's only hurting big companies. And then finding that and just be like, well, that's taken this to a whole
Do
new
you
level.
think it was a kind of like he likes that sort of stuff, or do you think it was like a power play, like I can get this kind of content and not be found out? Like I can hack Nintendo, I can also have loads of child porn, and it's
I
fine.
don't care.
No,
I
me
don't think
neither.
I don't think it matters.
I'm just trying to get into the psychology of Ryan
Yeah.
Hernandez.
I don't know, dude. Like, if.
It's just because he's 21.
Yeah.
It just seems weird, right?
Well, 21's too young to
Yeah, the
be
stereotype.
announced.
Yeah, the stereotype is that it's like these old
Yeah.
weird dudes. This guy's 21. He's our age, right?
Actually, he's younger.
Yeah, okay, he's my age. But like,
He's my age too.
okay, he's your
You're the
age.
only one here that's
Yeah.
22.
22. Anyway,
Damn.
seriously though.
Sorry, Grandad, but
Yeah, it
Fuck
just
you.
it just feels strange to me. It seems like an odd. I don't know. I'm weirded out by it.
yeah.
But
Well,
the-
yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
At least feel a little bit.
I have a heart.
Yeah.
But he like had fished some Nintendo employee, which I like to imagine is like he sent an email to a Nintendo employee of just like cats, and the guy like clicked on it and was like, "Oh, I love cats."
What, Cats the movie?
Yeah, not realizing.
I love Taylor Swift.
Not realizing, of course, it was a scam. But yeah, I like to think there's just some gullible.
What, it was like...
Some gullible employee at Nintendo just loves cats that much.
What, how would that work? Here's some loads of cats, also give me your password.
No, like they click on the picture or whatever and it installs some kind of virus on it.
Hey,
That's
Nintendo
not how,
employee.
that wouldn't be efficient.
I don't know anything about
Nigerian
technology.
prince needs you to send over $1 million on all of Nintendo's secrets.
I just enjoy the fact that there's some gullible Nintendo employee out there who was definitely fired, right, for this.
I
Surely.
can only assume.
Yes,
Yeah.
you'd
I
hope.
don't know. It depends how nice Nintendo are.
I don't know. Probably not.
'Cause, like, it is
Probably
an
not
honest
as nice as
mistake.
they let on.
Maybe it was like, maybe it was like 70. Like,
Maybe
we don't
it
know
was-
if it was like a tech, because like Nintendo has like people that aren't just all the techie people.
What if it was Sakurai himself?
My God.
He got hacked. And he won't admit it. The next character
Or
in
maybe-
Smash is
maybe-
Ryan Hernandez. And his ability is hacking people. Right.
Isn't that a character from Overwatch?
Yeah, Sombra or whatever, yeah. Okay, we got good news though. The first big news, and I think this is the biggest gaming news anyway that's been circulating recently, is Platinum Games, people behind Bayonetta and recently Astral Chain.
Yes.
They've revealed a new mysterious website that has the number 4 in the middle, and surrounding the number 4 are 4 of their like logos, but it's like grayed out, and people are like, "Oh, what does this mean? What is this?"
Half-Life 4.
Yeah, it's Half-Life 4. Yeah.
It's
One of
Fable
those logos has recently lit up, and it's to do with the reveal that they are starting a Kickstarter for a remaster of their very popular title, The Wonderful 101, which was on the Wii U. That Kickstarter has actually.
How can it be that popular if it was on the Wii U?
It was popular in that like it was really well received.
Yeah.
Don't know
It's
how
a
many
good
people
game
played
on a
it.
shit console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a really funny video for their Kickstarter. It's really good. I highly recommend you all watch it. It's like the people who like make it, all the developers, they sat around a table like discussing how they're gonna like get their game out to more people, and then like this weird troll turns up, and then the like lead developer of it, who's like famous for banning people, like that's his shtick. I can't remember his name. Something Kamiya maybe. He's like really famous for like just banning people on Twitter. Like you can ask him a question on Twitter and he'd just ban you. And apparently his ban list is like in the thousands because he just bans so many people. He like turns up and he like beats up this troll. I don't get the video. Anyway, they've managed to reach 1.08 million on dollars on their Kickstarter, or the equivalent is £829,440. And they've still got.
Depending on the scale of the game, I don't know how
Well,
much little that is going to.
They've still got 31 days left on the Kickstarter. So that was in like the first 2 days they've amassed that amount of money. That's a shit ton of money for like 2 days.
Is a lot of money in terms of game development.
Well,
To be
because
fair,
all they're doing is publishing it.
Yeah.
Because they're becoming an independent publisher now. They're going away from Nintendo and they want to publish their own games, which is why they're doing a Kickstarter, because they can't really afford to like publish it. So they had stretch goals. It was 50,000. They'll publish it on the Switch.
Okay.
I think 250 was the PS4 and 500,000 was PC. And they've reached like 1 million. So now they're looking at adding new features to the game for that kind of money. So they've got the money to publish it on these platforms, and now they're getting extra money to just develop the game further.
I
and add new
presume then
features.
all the money's just going solely to the game development and not things like people's salaries.
No, I think yeah.
Because like if you've got like 50,000 quid, that's depending on how much you're paying people, and I don't know what the exchange.
I think it's purely just like yeah. But one of the rewards for paying is you can be banned by this guy on Twitter. Except it says on the rewards thing, it's like, you know, you get a couple of game and then you get banned. But then it's like, but if you don't want to be banned, don't worry, you don't have to be banned. This isn't like you're automatically banned. It's really funny. I really like it. So that's that. But we have some kind of also Platinum game news, because Daemon X Machina and Little Town Hero, which were both Switch exclusives, have lost their exclusivity and are being ported to other consoles. Daemon X Machina is being ported to the PC this month, and Little Town Hero to the PS4 in April. Platinum Games have said that they're not sure what's going to happen with Astral Chain, and that it's ultimately up to Nintendo to decide.
That's odd.
This is mad. Why is Nintendo losing all their exclusives?
I
They lost
don't-
Octopath Traveler
I don't
after
know
a
how
year.
that works legally, because I always assume with things like exclusivity, you just sign the contract saying this will be
Well, that's what I
this console
thought.
forever, and then you can't go back on it. So I
Because
don't know.
Little Town Hero is by Game Freak, which I thought were just
Yeah.
owned by Nintendo, right? Are they not? I thought they just owned Game Freak by this point, because all they make is Pokemon. But it's
Surely
really
they
bizarre.
must be.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But this game is getting on PS4, and I don't understand why. And it can't be good for Nintendo losing all these exclusives.
No.
But
Well, here's the. It,
Depends on the deal they've got.
the thing is with Nintendo, they corner a very different share of the market
yeah,
to Xbox and PS4. So it's not actually. Well, in fact, everyone. It's really actually not the end of the world for them.
no, I don't think it's gonna like
if it was like
hugely affect them.
PlayStation or Xbox losing stuff to the other one, then
Yeah.
it makes a big deal. Nintendo can have games that have been out on the other consoles for years come out on theirs and sell well
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
because it's come out on
Like
Switch. A game
What?
coming,
Skyrim.
like for
Yeah.
example, Skyrim, and someone buying it for
and
50
people pay 50 quid for it.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
crazy.
So I don't think it's going to be too terrible.
No, I don't think so either. I think it'll be fine. It was just a kind of like, oh,
That's all,
the
yeah.
Switch had a home for new games, and now it's
Well, it
it's
still
going off.
is. It's still
It's going to
getting-
university to the PS4. Anyway, do you guys care about Saints Row 4? Did you play it at all?
Yeah.
I only played it. I didn't like it that much. It was alright.
Well, this is great news for Jonathan because it's coming to the Switch, so you can not like it all over again. Well, an Amazon listing has accidentally revealed that Saints Row 4 will be released on the 27th of March for the Nintendo Switch. So that's
I
fun.
like Saints Row 3.
Yeah, Saints Row 3 is great. That's also on the Switch. Apparently, the port wasn't great, but then they fixed it. So I'm not sure what's happening with Saints Row 4.
Saints Row 2 is probably the best.
Saints Row 2, I think, is the most widely accepted.
I never
Saints Row
played it.
3 went in a very different direction to it.
Yeah.
Saints Row 3 went for the more wacky,
So,
fun.
yeah.
Well, wasn't Saints Row
3
2 just like a not very good version of GTA?
No.
No, I think it was good. I never really played it.
It was
When
good.
I played it a bit, like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't play that much. It was sort of, but it's getting to the point of old where it sort of begins to be running a bit
Yeah.
dodgily on computers.
Yeah.
And the controls just aren't like as intuitive as modern.
Don't you love that? How there's just games that like you just can't run anymore. They just won't play.
I got Knights of the Old Republic running on my PC.
But that's been like I think that's constantly like kept updated,
Oh
so
no,
it will
Knights
keep
of the
running.
Republic 2 was only recently updated. No,
Yeah.
That was like last year, I think.
Because you can still buy it on Steam and all that.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
Well, I
EA
have
still
it on Steam.
EA have it on their like.
But the
archives or
original,
whatever.
you can buy it, but generally it run like I couldn't physically play it when I first bought it.
Yeah.
I mean, they got it for dirt cheap in the sale, I think. But it just wouldn't run, and then it just suddenly started working, and then like just miraculously.
I had that with.
So maybe it has had an update. I don't know.
maybe.
You find that, don't you, where like something just won't work, and then you try it again like a day later or whatever, and then it all of a sudden works. I had a Mac, right, and I dropped it on the floor, and it just wouldn't turn on, and
Yeah, no
I
shit.
thought, shit, it's done for. And then like a few days later, I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. Who knows? And it just worked again for some reason. I didn't do anything. It just randomly
Computers
worked.
Just
It's just, this world
Honestly.
technology is just weird, man.
Thick. It's-
But I
it's
love all
fickle.
the ways that you have to like go the like lengths you have to go to get some of these games running. Like there's all these like YouTube videos of people
I
like
just don't bother.
deleting files and downloading new files and all this, and then running it at like pretending that you're on like a Windows XP computer or whatever. And it's like it can't be worth it, right? Surely. For like this one random game to go through all
I
this trouble.
downloaded DOSBox.
What's
to
that?
Try, it's basically a DOS emulator.
What's
you know,
DOS?
DOS is real old computers when things were just basically a black console.
Oh sure, yeah,
screen.
yeah.
And then you type in like.
Yeah.
So I downloaded one of them to play Arena, the
Oh,
first
fun,
Elder
yeah,
Scrolls
yeah,
game,
yeah.
and I got it working, and it just ran like shit.
I can't imagine it's all that fun of a game either.
Well, I don't know. I didn't get to the point of really playing the game. I didn't get outside the first dungeon.
That's like
Yeah,
Owen
Which
with
is
Left
why
4
I
Dead.
really want.
Oh my god, I got Kirby working ages ago.
Hey, Bethesda.
Yeah.
Todd Howard, I know you're listening to this.
Hey,
Yeah, well, I
Todd.
he's my uncle or
Yeah,
whatever, so
exactly.
I
Oh, yeah.
can
Yeah.
pass this on.
Past jokes, it's really funny. Todd Howard.
Yeah.
No, Todd
Please.
Howard, not Tom Howard.
Please port Arena to probably the Switch. I reckon Arena's the perfect game.
Okay, but
Hey,
here's
Give
the
it a
question.
bit of a touch up.
I was gonna
make it
say.
run smooth.
I was gonna say, would you want Arena in all of its glory as it was back then?
Yes.
Or do you want a like kind of remake of it?
Well, do
you
what?
probably maybe nicen up some of the textures a bit if you want, but I'd say
Well, I was gonna say
definitely probably fix a lot of the controls.
do what the Halo CE anniversary edition does.
Yeah.
It gives you the option to do both.
Yeah, because I mean, I
I
think
don't
it
want
would.
them to just remake the game. I want to play.
Oh, how about
the
even
original
better,
one.
Todd? Since you're listening,
Yeah,
say that again.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 I'm listening. Yeah, go for it. What?
How about you get Bethesda Game Studios to make some good games?
I mean, that would be
good.
nice. Yeah,
That would be nice.
that would be good. Well, they got Elder Scrolls 6 coming out, and it's my like last beacon of hope for Bethesda.
Well,
it's like,
they've got like 2 more games.
well,
come
who
out
cares
before
about Starfield or whatever? Nobody
It's
gives a
just
shit.
one.
Is it just Starfield?
It's just
I thought there was
Starfield.
Yeah,
another one.
no, it's just Starfield and
Am I
Elder
right?
Scrolls.
Not well. They have other games. It's Bethesda, but nothing.
I mean Bethesda. I'm not talking Bethesda the publisher. I mean
Yeah,
like Bethesda.
Bethesda.
I feel like Bethesda doesn't have a leg to stand on when it comes to releasing a new IP. Like, I feel like they need to prove themselves with like old IPs before they start releasing new
I mean,
stuff.
In their head, they have, but people love. I mean, the two, Fallout and Skyrim, the two sort of ones of that type of game.
Yeah.
Like every time they release one, they like get
And
10 out of 10.
If we're,
for
if
that.
we're talking, and if we're
Why?
talking specifically like the publisher, they've done an amazing. Well, id Software has done an amazing job with Doom, despite what Bethesda, the publisher, wants them to. So because like they're very much against like microtransactions for Doom Eternal.
Yeah, no, I know, but like
Or stuff.
that's got
Specifically-
nothing to do with Bethesda. They're just publishing the game, right?
Yeah.
No.
It
They
developed
own,
it.
they own it though.
No, I know, but it is the one that's developing it.
Yeah, the
they're
studio,
they're
but they've-
making the game.
But they've still got to conform to whatever Bethesda, the
Yeah,
publisher,
yeah.
wants them to.
But Bethesda's not going to
They've
say
got
no
to
when
bow
it's
to
a
Danny
winning.
Bethesda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just fuck Bethesda.
But like
alright?
Bethesda, but the thing about Bethesda software is deeply rapid in Bethesda. Like
Yeah.
Bethesda and Bethesda software are basically one. And
They're all.
I think we
Todd's
said
baby.
Bethesda
We-
too many times.
Yeah,
we
it's
have
like-
said Bethesda a lot.
Bethesda.
What about,
Um,
why don't we just call them Todd's Boys?
Todd's Boys, yeah, I like that.
Todd Howard.
We could be called Todd's Boys.
We could be Todd's
What a
Boys.
great name for a
Oh, we
podcast.
have
We're starting a new podcast alongside this one called
it's-
Todd's Boys.
It's all about Bethesda and
Yeah.
the personal life of Todd Howard.
Yeah, and he's on the cast. He's one of the guests.
Yeah.
Every
Did you
episode.
hear the thing that Fallout 76 was doing, where hackers got in and stole people's
Yes.
stuff? So what Bethesda did was they took the archived save of the character, but they couldn't just sort of reset the character because then they'd lose all the progression they'd had since then. So they put their developers in the game as the old version of the character, found essentially their clone, and then gave them all the stuff back.
What the fuck?
It's such a weird random thing to do in a game.
What a like workaround for that.
Oh my god! Like, if you look into Fallout 76, all like their solution to anything is just this weird roundabout way of.
Well,
going
yeah,
about
because
stuff.
they don't have the framework to make good solutions off.
Yeah, I know.
Everything, the whole game is built so haphazardly and just shittily.
They definitely did not have a plan for Fallout 76.
No.
So as soon as a problem comes up, they're like, I guess we just make it up as we go along.
I can only assume that basically the planning meeting for Fallout 76 just was everyone sat in a room, Todd Howard kicked down the door, shouted online, and then ran away.
Yes, absolutely. That sounds about right.
Yeah,
Now,
sounds like Todd.
would you like to know a fun little fact about me? It's not that fun, but
Is it?
I used to believe, right? You know AI in video
Oh, I
games.
really hope that sentence just stopped there.
I used to believe.
I used to believe.
You know AI in video games?
Yes.
I actually thought, and I'm being genuinely serious, that the AI was the people who made the game playing it with me, and they somehow had to play with every single person who was playing the game at the same time.
Oh, Tom, you adorable little.
I know.
It's funny.
You bean.
I didn't understand AI. What a fucking concept to understand as a child.
You know the A?
Yeah.
You know what that stands for?
Artificial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Really
know
are.
now. I'm not stupid.
No, to be fair, I mean.
But
we
like,
all
what a
believe stupid
concept
shit,
to like get your head round.
Yeah.
That somebody had designed a like almost kind of sentient thing inside your game that like plays alongside you. Fucking hell,
I
man.
mean, most of them are just dudes that follow specific routes.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
I know, but mind blown when I
Especially
found
back
out.
then.
Tom's getting really existential about AI at the minute.
I thought when I was playing Imperial Glory that the other side was one of the like people who made
Actually,
the game.
to be fair, that being someone else feels more logical than
Yeah.
like just every NPC in a game.
No, I thought that too, but
Yeah.
like yeah, it was just crazy, man, crazy. And when I found out that like online games were a thing, fucking hell, don't even get me started. Other people could play with you.
But you
I thought it
thought
was just the
Yeah, you thought
developers.
that.
I thought it was just the developers that could do it.
They're like, man, they've really opened up the amount
They're
of
like,
people.
other people play with me? This is mad. No, it was crazy. Anyway, that's not news.
Anyway,
It's just
that's
weird.
Tom's existential crisis over.
There's been a new Animal Crossing Switch that's been revealed. Have you seen this?
Yes.
It looks really cute. I really like the idea of it. But it's super fucking expensive, so I'm never
Yes,
gonna
like
buy it.
300 quid.
They've released official like skins for your dock and your Joy-Cons. So if you want like the cheaper version, you can get like that. But it's not as nice. It's not like printed on it. I don't know. Who
Not-
cares?
not
It looks
got-
cute, and that's
not
what's
got a
important.
nice finish.
Very, very true. So two big games have been released. Kind of big games. These are the ones I'm hearing the most hype about in the past couple of weeks, and that's the new Dragon Ball game, Dragon Ball Z game.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I
Yeah,
think.
and Temtem, which is the MMO
Yes.
Pokemon game.
Yes.
One of those has gotten rave reviews. The other one, not so much. Can you guess which one is doing well?
Temtem.
No, Dragon Ball is getting gutted. People
Is it?
people
Really?
think it's a really faithful like adaptation of the anime. So faithful in fact that it's basically like verbatim the anime, but it's a boring ass game and nobody enjoys playing it.
I mean, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball,
Good.
so.
It's a
I've-
crap anime. I've never seen. I've seen like the first 10 episodes. It was
10
weirdly
episodes of Dragon Ball, or
of Dragon
Z,
Ball.
or Dragon Ball GT, or maybe Dragon Ball Super.
Dragon Ball. It was weirdly sexist. I turned it off. Never watched it again. That was my opinion of Dragon Ball for all you folks out there who care. But yes, Dragon Ball is doing
I
very
can't
well.
believe that scene where Goku just picks up a woman and beats another woman with.
To be fair, that probably does actually happen. I can't remember. There's some weird shit in there where he's like very weird towards Bulma, and it's just uncomfortable. Anyway, Temtem though, doing super well. Apart from one thing, the devs banned 900 players for cheating. And then when people were like, "All right," but like they couldn't even appeal it. They were like, "Yeah, we're 100% sure that they're guilty." They were like, "We're not moving on this."
The judge.
We even double checked, and they're definitely guilty. They were like, "Yeah, these guys are exploiting the game," but they are listening to community feedback and they're adding in an appeal system. However, their reasoning for not having one in the first place makes really good sense, right? The reason is that
We won't
hackers.
listen anyway.
Pardon?
We won't listen anyway if you appeal.
Yeah, hackers will ask like reasons why they got caught, so that in the future they can learn from their mistakes and not get caught again. And so they don't want hackers to abuse an appeal system to find out and then just keep hacking. That's why they didn't have one. I think that makes sense. Like I understand it, but then they're also like, we wouldn't ban someone for accidentally coming across a like, what's the word? Exploit, yeah. They're like, we make sure that this person has repeatedly abused an exploit or found some way of hacking it. And to be fair, I know it's all corporate bullshit, but it does sound, and it's Temtem. It's like a small development team that's making it. I feel like they're probably
In my head, it's probably just a bunch of developers trying to do their best to
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
keep the game running well.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think there should be an appeal system though.
Yeah, no, I think so
But
too.
I get why
Yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah, it's like it's a system that they put in place for reasons that
Yeah.
may not be the best.
You
decision,
They're
but,
trying
like,
their best
You're not.
with
Yeah,
the
I
amount of
think
people
so.
they've got.
you joke that they won't listen, but they've pretty much said like, yeah, if we're sure that you should have been banned, we don't care if you appeal. Like you're banned, which is fair enough. But should
I mean,
we?
if they're sure, then
Yeah, exactly.
If you know, then you know.
Exactly. Great quote from Jonathan. There.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Like they have the data.
Yeah, exactly. They'll-
Like the thing is,
We got the data.
you do something wrong in their game, it's their game. They have all the like
And it's not like you can frame someone.
All of it
for
goes to their servers. They have it like...
Yeah, exactly. You can't like frame someone in Temtem for exploiting a glitch. Like that's
Yeah.
not something you can do. Either a player does or does not
Yeah.
exploit a glitch, and they'll
Well,
find out about it.
You can jump into someone else's account.
I guess you could, but why the fuck would you do that to just get them banned? What a waste of time. I guess there are
Have
weird
you met
people out there.
on the internet?
But should we get Temtem
It
and
depends
play
how
it
much
together? $27.99 in early access, which is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot.
And it's also coming to Switch, so I'm just like, I'll probably get it when it comes to Switch.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to play with you guys 'cause it seems like a lot of fun. But I don't know how, because it currently doesn't have like a co-op campaign or anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know how much of it is, because how much of it is actually co-op.
I know they're
probably
adding.
be decided.
I know they're adding. I think a way of playing the campaign co-op.
I'd say we as a group
Yes,
should wait off until we
absolutely.
get that co-op.
100% agree with Owen right there. Even though I brought up the fact of buying it, but it doesn't matter. It's Owen's idea.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if without the actual online playing together thing, it's just
It's like
Pokemon.
when we were playing.
Apparently, it's much better than Pokemon.
I've got...
Oh, it's like when we as a group tried playing Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah,
That
we
was
just-
fun.
It was fun, but
Yeah,
we
but we
got
also ended up just fucking off doing our own
Yeah,
thing
we
because
all-
like there was
Yes,
only...
this is the problem with Bethesda's online games, right? They're just single-player games,
Yeah.
but there are other people there.
I don't get MMOs.
What is the
I don't
point?
really...
The thing is, you got to get really into an MMO before you start having fun doing the group stuff, because you got to get past all the tutorial and the setup quests to get
Yeah,
to like the raid.
My guy, we
So-
played
We-
30
I mean, we
hours.
did.
Of,
We
yeah,
played
30 hours
enough.
of it, yeah.
I mean, I know MMOs are supposed to be big scale. Like the
Yeah.
idea is that you play them when you play an MMO, like that's
Yeah.
your main game. That you play
I
for
played
years.
I played Black Desert Online. I got that, and it's really good. I really like Black Desert Online.
I started
but-
playing it too.
I do think, like, when I was playing it, I was like, okay, this can be played as a single player game and it's probably like enjoyable. But I think it's all about these like guilds and like joining up with a whole group of people and playing
Yeah.
together. Like that Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I get that as an MMO because that has what sounds like an incredible community of people that like genuinely enjoy doing these like big explorations together. I get that. Elder Scrolls Online though, I just didn't get a sense of A, being able to really play it co-op apart from those dungeons that we did,
Yeah.
and B, there being like a good sense of community. Like
No,
I
it just felt like I was running about doing things
Well,
whilst a bunch of
yeah.
other avatars were running about doing.
And we really tried as well to play the game
Yeah.
together. But it just got to a point where, like, the annoying thing was, even if you were in the same party,
Yeah.
if one person completed a mission, other people had to complete it too. So, like, you guys would complete a mission, and I would be, like, halfway through it. But then, like, obviously you're not just going to stand there and wait for me to finish a mission. So
Yeah,
you'd go
so
to the
I'm
next
like-
one,
Yeah.
and then Jonathan would finish that, and you'd be behind. And then, like, we were all, like, just behind each other.
And then next thing you know, we're all just like doing our own
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I stopped playing it, because as much as I was having fun, like, being on...
I think the
Chat
best
with
thing about Elder Scrolls Online was the CG adverts. Because they made the whole thing look so good.
And I think it's...
Oh, I remember seeing them when they first came out. It was, honestly, I watched them and I was like, fucking hell, this is
It's
amazing.
like the Old Republic
Yeah.
MMO. Those CG adverts are fucking amazing. Those CG, okay.
Yeah.
Because oh no, it's Star Wars. I can't talk about it.
You can't, you're not allowed.
I was gonna say those.
You can
CG
talk about...
I was gonna say those
Nice of the Old
CG
Republic.
adverts.
No, don't
are
say it. I
arguably-
know what you're going to say.
Arguably better
Oh.
than pretty much most of all Star Wars.
Well, he said most of all
Yeah, I
Star
know,
Wars.
he-
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair, because he didn't just
But
say
he-
the new ones.
I mean, the whole thing is
I mean,
computer
you know,
generated.
that statement excluding like the original.
I've seen-
A CG, when the whole thing is CG, it always looks better. Like,
Yeah.
it's harder to do CG versus real life because you're putting thing against things that are
Yes,
real.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Elder Scrolls Online. I thought visually it was a really nice game. I kind of wish they'd keep that style for future games, but I know they won't, which is a shame. But I thought it was fun, and the only gripe I had was that it was an MMO, and it didn't need to be. Anyway, we've got more news.
I don't think, yeah, but I bet if you played basically any MMO, you'd come up out saying.
I've got the same opinion for Black Desert Online and Guild Wars 2, which is fucking
I just don't
terrible.
get the point of them.
No, me neither. It
I
just
never
don't
liked
think
them.
Guild Wars 2 is still going.
I know. Either make a single player game or a game that you can play with friends. Don't make a game that it's a single player
I find
game
it
that you can play with everyone.
I find it incredibly immersion breaking.
Yeah, me too.
Don't you? When you just see loads of people doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I
It's the
reinstalled
same.
it not
you
that
don't
long
feel
ago.
like you're in a living world. You just feel like there's a load
Yeah,
of other
absolutely.
people that are
I reinstalled it not that long ago, and I decided instead of doing the place that we did last time, because you can pick like where you start.
Yeah, faction.
I decided to start off in the desert place. I was a red guard, right? And I was really excited because it's like stunning. It looks really good. They've done a really good job with it. And I went to this dungeon, and I get in there, and I'm like, there's no enemies here. And I realized there was 2 dudes in front of me who were killing every enemy along the way in that dungeon.
Yeah.
And I get to the end, I get the reward for doing fuck all apart
Yeah.
from exploring that dungeon, which is boring. And then I move on to the next mission, and it's so immersion breaking having a mission ruined for you because other people do
They did try things like there were those, I can't remember what they're called. They were like Oblivion anchors or something that would come down, big purple things.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like and then be like, this is happening here, and then like loads of people.
Yeah, it's
come
like a
and
world
like,
event,
fighting.
yeah.
And they were trying to be like, look, this is a sort of co-op
Those things
thing.
are cool.
Bring everyone.
I enjoyed
But
it.
it didn't feel like it fit in with any sort of narrative. It just felt like
It's just but that's
do
world,
this thing, get a reward.
that's
Like,
just world events though in MMOs.
Everything just MMOs just break any sort
Yeah.
of narrative that I ever get.
I think this is why The Division and Destiny 2 are some of the best MMOs that I've played. I think you can consider them MMOs. Destiny and The Division.
I remember when Destiny was coming out, people were saying like it's sort of a MMO, but it's
Yeah,
sort
people
of not.
start using the term MMO light.
I think it is an MMO. At least Destiny 2 is the one that I've played.
It's a massively better, I think.
It's got world events like you say with the
Yeah.
anchors in thingy, and in this it's like fighting a big tank or whatever. But whenever you do a mission, if you're in a party, it sends you to a mission location, which is seamless. It feels like you're still in the world, but it's like separate from everyone else.
You're in your own.
So no one else can
Destiny
get
also-
involved in it.
Destiny 2 just really felt like a sort of really good gameplay
Yeah.
mechanic demo.
That's why it's good. It's
like
free.
the actual shooting and
It
all
is
that
free
stuff
now,
is
yeah. It
is
really
free
fun.
now.
But like
After Bungie.
I swear to God, I leveled my character to basically max within like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
yeah, because there's not that many things you can actually upgrade on your character.
Well, you can change all like his guns and armor and stuff.
Yeah, you can get new guns and stuff.
No,
but
there's
then
no-
they're, like the same guns just with a
Yes.
higher number now.
There's no new like abilities or anything.
Yeah.
You're right. The only thing you can do is change the like subclass, which gives you a slight
Yeah.
variation, but still.
But then I'm
bullshit.
just it doesn't feel like I'm progressing if I'm just finding new guns with a bigger number next to
It's
it.
not that fun. You're right.
It's the same.
You're right. But The Division, on the other hand, is very good, and I enjoy that a lot. That's another game we could all get. Anyway, we have.
I do have the
Yeah.
Division.
Yeah, me
Division
too.
is good.
We have more news.
I have Destiny 2.
Yes, well, it's free, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
first
exactly.
3 campaigns I think are free on it. But
That's
then
what
the
I'm
others are
thinking.
the
We should play it together.
Yeah,
it's
fair
free.
enough. Fair enough. Nintendo. We're back to news. That was a
Yay.
famous podcast tangent, and now we're back to news. Nintendo are not concerned about the PS5 or Xbox Series X
of course.
impacting Switch sales, as they believe their fan bases are vastly different.
They're right.
They're confident they won't have any trouble in the upcoming years, as the Switch is not a substitute being their quote, for these consoles.
That's
yeah,
true.
no, absolutely true. A few years ago, many years ago now, Nintendo basically said, because Nintendo used to be considered just another one with the rest of them, and then
Yeah.
they were like, but very publicly just went, we don't consider. I think it was around the time of the Wii, maybe
Yeah.
a bit before. We were like, we don't consider them to really be competitors in the sense that we don't have the same market share.
But also,
And then people were like, what? And then the Wii came out and people are like, oh, we get you now.
I
yeah.
feel like Nintendo gets a stigma for not being like a kind of real, and I say that with
Yeah, but that's a...
like games company.
That's
But like,
like...
the Wii sold 108 million like products, like copies of it.
Yeah, that's amidst people that just like play
COD.
like the hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either like I mean, there's a bunch of different sort of games that people tend to play that because there's a weird sort of view of like the hardcore gamer of people that take a real sense and pride in like their ability to
Yeah.
play games and like the
People who
games,
claim
like,
Dark Souls is beatable.
Yeah, people that are like play Dark
That's what
Souls,
you're
beat it, and then like just want everyone to know that
How
they can
easy it
beat
was.
Dark Souls, and like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time someone brings it up, be like, "It's easy, guys." You
Yeah,
know, those sort of knobheads.
those people who we hate on this podcast.
No, we should stop because otherwise we'll go and be in last.
Yeah, no, we're only messing with you. But yeah, no, I think you're right.
You guys can't get past the first boss.
I
did
can't.
get past the first boss. It's the
Sorry.
second boss that.
No, I can't even get past the first mini boss. The guy before the main boss. You know the guy with the big sword that turns into a weird like demon thing? He's apparently not even
Do you
considered
mean
a
which Dark
boss.
Souls?
3.
Oh yeah, I haven't played Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 1. Wait, which is the one where you fight some horse guy? at the beginning. I think that's Dark Souls 2. I didn't get past him either. But in Dark Souls 3, I didn't get past the big sword dude. I got past all the skeleton dudes. They're easy. But the big sword
The
dude,
skeletons.
not easy. He's really hard. Why would you
I'm
start?
better at Bloodborne, but I don't actually have the time.
Why
to
would you
get through
start a game with an unbeatable boss? I
It's
don't
not
get it.
unbeatable, it's not
Dark Souls
unbeatable.
sucks ass.
I like
Anyway,
Bloodborne more because it's faster paced. Dark Souls.
I started playing Bloodborne. I got killed by something.
I really
But
wish.
then I quit, and you guys were like, "Oh yeah, you're supposed to die." I was like,
Yes.
Oh.
The big werewolf lady.
"Yeah." I rage
So,
quit
you're
before I
supposed to-
even.
You're supposed to die. Get all your items to beat this.
I almost did that on Metro Exodus. Right.
It's really good game development unless you're like really anxious about
Yeah.
what good you're gonna do and then just
Yeah.
quit.
But I think the Switch has sold more copies than the Xbox One has.
What consoles?
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah, in the 3
Way
years that it's
more.
been going. So, if we're saying one console isn't a real console, I think it's fair to say the Xbox One. No,
I don't think. I
fucking
think
with you.
the thing is, I think
that's
they
my
don't
face.
so much judge console, but the games.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. No, I think
People
you're
will
right.
be like, Mario's not a proper video game because it's.
Right, it
Well, people
absolutely
call it
is.
for
Well,
kids and all this.
I was gonna
bullshit.
say, it's usually classed as more like a casual game.
Although,
And I think
that
that's
as a term. is
ironically,
stupid,
Mario is
isn't
one
it?
of the most like mechanically heavy
Yeah, I mean,
video
if
games.
you-
In terms of actual game design,
It's
it's
so
one of the
like
cleverest.
innovative and stuff.
And
yeah.
then you look at like online communities of like speedrunners and
Yeah,
challenges
innit?
and things.
If
And
anything,
there's
plenty of
it's
challenges
the
in
most
Mario.
video game out there.
But I think the reason why it is deemed like casual games is because they are fundamentally accessible to pretty much anyone.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like you don't have
in
to,
every single way.
Yeah.
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 And
Like-
I think that it is fair to call them casual games because anyone can pick them up casually.
I think
the
accessible
the,
is a better
the term itself isn't a problem. It's the way that people use it.
Yeah. The stigma of casual.
Yeah.
People think like mobile games when you think casual,
Yeah.
don't you? Like clickers and stuff.
Yeah,
Or it's like when people refer to like walking simulators.
yeah.
Like
Well, that's a sort of
Yeah.
a whole other battle.
Yeah.
of
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like I
We should
just-
do a topic on
Yeah.
walking simulators.
Oh, I'd love
I
to.
have a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a lot
Yeah.
to say about it.
Would you like the next piece of news?
Yeah, go on.
This is kind of. I feel like it's kind of the same. Nintendo have confirmed that the Switch is for the time being their main focus, and they're not looking on improving the hardware just yet, as in releasing another console.
Yeah, shit, they only released it.
No,
It's
but
not been released for long.
no, but this next bit is the
Oh,
important
right,
bit.
sorry.
They also claim that the Switch will have a long life and they will continue to support it and the titles this far released for a very, very long time, basically. I think it's going to be their, like, just flagship console for the next...
Well, a lot of
The Switch, I remember the Switch was announced first year because I remember I was.
Yes,
in,
I got it in second year. I remember Caleb had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Because he got it with Breath of the Wild and he was, like, fucking so hyped about it. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And he was like, I got to play it for, like, a second. I was like, this is shit.
Did you remember that Breath of the Wild also came out on the Wii U?
Yes, it did.
Isn't that funny?
Well, this is the thing. Nintendo have I think there's a game releasing for the 3DS like this year. Like they still release, or companies anyway, are still releasing games on their old consoles. So
Well,
they're not
still
like-
bringing out Just Dance on the Wii.
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I think like like my mate booted up his Wii the other day and he was just playing games on it. Like people still have all these consoles. I feel like unlike a PS3 compared to a PS4.
Yeah, well, like a Wii, you play a Wii game and it doesn't really feel old.
No.
Because a Wii game could come out on the Switch and it doesn't. Like, because with PlayStation games and Xbox games,
Yeah.
they tend to, because they upgrade the sort of weight of the console, the sort of quality of the console comes from the power that they can put in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's all about graphics and frame rates
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all this and all that.
Optimization.
Yeah. Whereas with Nintendo, it's all about the quirk of the hardware.
Yeah.
I also feel as well like with new games on like the PS4 and the Xbox One and stuff, it's all about like mechanical changes too to like how the game like plays and stuff like that. Like games have evolved in that sort of sense. But with Nintendo products, I feel like they'd already mastered like the perfect game basically with like Mario and stuff. And like they do innovate, but if you go back and play like an old Mario game, it's still fun as hell.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go back and play like I don't know, the first Far Cry or whatever. It's shit. It's not
Yeah.
good. And
Well, that's why people still play like literally the original Mario, because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter that it's old.
yeah,
Yeah.
or even like Wii
The game,
Sports.
it's so accessible.
Yeah.
It's the game. The mechanics are so simple
Yeah.
that you can just like I play old games now. Things like Morrowind, Knights of the Old Republic, still great games, but because there's been so much innovation in just how the games are played since then, it makes it really difficult for me to, because they're complex games as well.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
Here's the thing, for something like Knights of the Republic, the narrative and mechanics are basically fighting for attention while you're playing the game.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, for like a lot of Nintendo games, it's like, what the fuck is a narrative? Let's just jump
Nintendo
onto,
do
just jump
slack
onto
on
movies.
narrative, but I think as well there's a
Yeah, but
kind
that's
of
fine.
there's a kind of
I mean, some of
simplicity.
the greatest games
Oh,
ever
yeah,
made
yeah.
have no
There's-
narrative.
there is-
Doom, the original Doom, for example.
Well-
there's a famous quote from John Carmack that says, "Story in a game is like story in a porno.
Yeah.
You expect it to be there, but you're not really there."
That's well. This is we should do have a podcast where our main topic talk is story in games.
Yeah.
Because there's basically a scale of story in games. They go from Mario/Doom, which is a weird thing to put together, to walking simulators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
they can
I'd also
work,
put
and
like the Telltale games.
yeah,
Yeah.
in there,
and they can both work.
Oh,
I would
yeah,
also
yeah.
really like to
Like
talk about that.
you can have. I mean, there's generally the more story you get, the less gameplay you get, but not
Yeah.
always. I would put The Last of Us as a clear example of it doing both incredibly
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
and I would put the remastered Tomb Raider. Specifically, don't ask me why it's specifically in my head. I just remember it when it came out as being a bad example of trying to do narrative in a game.
Well, we'll talk.
So
we
we'll
can
talk
do that
about
next
that
week.
next
Yeah, we can do that
week.
next
We'll
week.
do it
Yeah. We've got more
Tune
news.
in
there.
next week for.
Netflix have actually confirmed that there's an anime Witcher movie being
Yes.
released called The Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf, and it will be headed by the Witcher series, the current series, showrunner Lauren S. Hisrich
Yeah, she's great.
and writer Bo DeMeo.
I don't know who that is.
Beau, is that Bo? I think so. It will focus on Vesemir, not Geralt,
Yep.
which is interesting because
And it will be voiced by Mark Hamill, please.
Please, yes.
this is what
I
I've
want
heard too.
Mark Hamill to be Vesemir.
I want Mark Hamill to be Vesemir so bad.
Okay, we've got 5 more pieces of news. Wow, we've got so much news. This one's a small one, but I wanted to get your opinions on it. Rumours are circulating of a Ratchet and Clank PS5 exclusive and launch title game.
Presumably
Thoughts?
from Insomnia.
Yes, indeed, because it's their second
like the
most.
last one.
It's
It
the
was-
second biggest game, Ratchet and Clank.
I presumably after Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
What are you talking about? It's obviously Sunset Overdrive.
Unfortunately, not.
I love
I
that game.
I
you
really
want-
liked the last Ratchet and Clank. I really like Insomniac. I love their games.
I love the Ratchet and Clank series. I wasn't too much of a fan of the last one because it was basically like a remake of the first ever one.
Sure.
And
I
obviously,
never played the first ever one.
Well, I'm
Man,
a big,
you are missing
I'm a
out.
big
They're
fan
good games.
of
Yeah.
the first
I never
one.
had like a.
So I'm like,
It was PS2, wasn't it?
I'm constantly sitting there comparing. Well, you know, the original did this better.
Yeah,
but
fair.
The new one looks so much nicer and plays so much better. But
Mm.
because a lot of it was trying to put it around that Ratchet and Clank movie that no one saw.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first two were on PS2, and oh
Yeah.
my god, were they a shit ton of fun.
They were so.
I think though there's absolutely a market for this type of game because look at the success of the Crash Insane trilogy and the new Spyro remastered trilogy or Reignited I think it's called.
Yeah,
like they did super well, and there's a new one that's come
Ratchet and
out.
Clank feels more like it would be something Nintendo will put out to me.
Yeah, but it's owned by Insomniac, so it's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but and Insomniac's now owned by Sony, so
Yeah, although in saying that, you never know. We did get Spyro and Crash on the Switch, and they were both PlayStation exclusives up until this point. You never know, boys.
You
We
never
might be
know.
getting. To be fair, if they re-released Ratchet and Clank 1 and 2 on the Switch,
The
holy
originals.
shit! Yes, I would buy them
Yeah, I'd buy
in their original
I'd love
form.
to see- I'd-
Those games in my head. Well, to be fair though, this is
Wasn't
my
that the
like.
thing in the PS2 era when everything was just like that sort of platformer sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
just like.
like Jack. Jack was
Yeah.
kind of
Jack-
like that. Jack was a bit
Jack
more
and
open
Daxter.
world. Yeah. Jack was a bit more open world, but it had whenever you got into like a proper mission, it was basically just like Ratchet and Clank.
No, but Ratchet and Clank, I love them.
It's yeah.
I would
Really
like
good.
to see Jack and Daxter come back.
Oh, me too. At least even if not in their own game, in some kind of like, I don't know, maybe they'll redo the like PlayStation Smash. Do you remember when they did that? And you could be Kratos and stuff like that.
PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah.
I had that on the PS Vita.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they'll do that again.
I was
but
the only person that had that on the PS Vita, but I did.
I kind of want to see that again. The PlayStation have got some good
It wasn't
characters.
great.
No, it wasn't. But I think the people who make it just didn't. Give it to Nintendo. Get them to make it. They know how to do
Stop
it.
giving Nintendo everything.
Last of Us 2 has received a 17 plus mature rating from the ESRB.
Shocking.
Yeah, shocking, but the reason why will shock you. Due to realistic depictions of violence, obviously, as well as sexual content and nudity, which is
We're gonna see Joel's dick!
it's a first for Naughty Dog because they've never done that in a game before.
Hey.
Apart from obviously in Jack when he stripped naked and had sex with Dax.
Yeah,
like that.
Jack fucks.
Yeah, that was a weird scene.
I mean-
we forget about it.
Nudity could mean a lot of things.
Well, it means one thing, nudity.
No,
It
I
means
mean in the
stepping naked.
context in the context of the game, it doesn't mean that like
What it's just like they take off their glove and naked
no,
hand.
but like basically
No, it means either boobs,
We're gonna see some
bums,
boobies.
or dick.
yeah.
Probably not for JJ.
Well, I mean, I think we have as much as seen for JJ as we ever seen dick.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
No, I don't know.
Okay, basically what it's going to mean is we're going to see some tits. Is basically what it means.
Probably
Let's just
tits,
be honest
because
with it.
she's a lesbian in it, right?
Well,
That's
we
my
don't.
understanding.
But this is what I was meaning when I
No,
say
she
it could
is.
mean a lot of things. It doesn't mean we're going to see her tits.
No, we'll probably see both. It's not important.
We'll see tits from
I
her
don't.
point of view.
All I'm saying is I don't think we'll see
Look.
either of that. I think it'll be like you'll see like.
Let's save this
corpses.
for another
I reckon
episode.
we'll see,
Yeah.
I reckon I'm thinking zombie tits is what I'm.
Oh,
thinking.
that'd be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do
That
let's
gets
do
me
a Last
hard.
of Us 2 nudity speculation episode later on that I will not release to the public. Anyway,
That we will
So
not-
just have a conversation
yes. Speaking of Naughty Dog IPs, the Uncharted movie has been delayed until March 5th, 2021, which
It's
comes
gonna be
as
so bad.
no surprise for unspecified reasons, I believe. Although it does come, it does come not that long after the departure of the previous director, who was like the fifth in line. Tom Holland is still
That's right.
apparently playing Thingy, and Mark Wahlberg is still playing his mentor Sam. So there you go.
Great. It's gonna be bad.
Oh, it's just it's gonna be
I've
bad.
never.
A film doesn't get this delayed unless it's shit, and the company just doesn't want to.
I
admit
mean, they
that
might
they're
have
not
just
going to
started over.
Mm.
do it. Yeah, I mean,
I don't understand how it can have that many problems. Just make the film, you dickheads.
it must just be a bad script that people
Nobody-
are stubborn and are not changing, and directors are leaving because it's not a good script. Is my impression. But if Tom Holland has stayed with it, like this guy doesn't need money right now, right? He's
Tom
surely
Holland,
loaded, and he's getting a shit ton of roles, so there's no reason for him to stay if it's
Mm.
like terrible. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I don't think he'd stick around if
I
it was
don't
that
know,
bad.
he might do.
But
He
why?
might just-
Unless he's contractually obliged.
Yeah, because he just
Yeah.
wants to be in an Uncharted film.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
I mean, I don't know.
Just get Nathan Fillion to replace Tom Holland.
Also, they could just be giving him loads of money. I mean, I know he's already loaded, but
Very true. He doesn't seem. Oh, he does. He was in that Spies in Disguise or whatever. He seems like the kind of guy who just take money for anything.
I don't know. I mean, you've got like working actors who just enjoy the craft of acting.
yeah, people.
Yeah.
Oh, like good actors end up in shit.
Yeah.
If Judi Dench can be in Cats, then
No,
Tom
no.
Holland
Yeah,
can
no,
be
that's
in
fine.
Uncharted.
I get the
If
impression.
Patrick Stewart can be in the movie version of Dune.
Wasn't he in the Emoji Movie?
Yes, he was
Yes,
also in the
Yeah, 'cause that's what I thought you were gonna say.
His have you watched his interview on the red carpet? It's the funniest shit. I can't remember what it is that he says, but it's just so funny. Like his explanation for being in the movie is just great. It's so Patrick Stewart. Anyway, no, I don't know. I get this impression from Tom Holland, right? That he's like he acts like he's a super nice guy and he's really easy to get on with. But I reckon he's a proper prick in real life. Like in interviews, he seems like a sweetheart, but I reckon he's a dickhead, like a huge grade A dickhead that just loves money
And
and
we
like
will judge him as such.
and he's super like sexist and homophobic.
Oh, right.
He voted for Brexit. Like he's just the worst kind of person, right?
Tom, I
Yes.
feel like you're just describing yourself there.
Well, yeah, I am, but Tom Wilson. That's what I
Yeah.
said. Anyway, moving on. I didn't vote for Brexit, but I am all those other things. CD Projekt Red.
Tom.
Oh, wait, no, we'll do that one last.
Yeah.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order has sold over 8 million copies.
As it should. It's a good game.
Yes.
Well, if you listen to the reviews, they kind of said that too, but they also said some other things.
What did they say?
They went a bit more in depth, I think.
No, there was some criticism to the game, but I think mostly people enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it does deserve some criticism. I mean, it doesn't.
Also, have you guys right? This happens with games all the time. It happens with Pokemon, and it's recently happened with The Outer Worlds, right? The Outer Worlds has suddenly got a whole bunch of critics coming out saying that it's not that good of a game. And the same thing happens with Pokemon. Every time they release a new one, everyone's like, 10 out of 10, best game ever. And then like a year later, people are like, oh, well, it wasn't that good. And I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden Outer Worlds is just getting like criticized for being mediocre.
Well,
I haven't seen it.
it's partially it happens because games journalism is kind of dying.
It's just
It's like, oh,
not
this
good.
is a really popular game. Okay, we can get a
Yeah.
couple of like outrage clicks and people
Yeah.
checking out what we're talking about. If we say, oh, people like this game, well, actually,
What? No,
opinion's
no,
wrong,
no.
but here's why.
These are like hour and a half long videos about
Yeah, that's
Outer
what I
Worlds
mean.
and stuff. No, but this is like a lot of effort has been put into this. This isn't just a like clickbait. Oh, it's a bad game. Like somebody has played the game and thought long and hard about it and released this video. And it's not just one. Like there's so
I
many.
mean,
of them.
people. You're always going to get people that
Yeah.
don't like popular things.
No, absolutely. It's
Like
just
you.
I just find it. And I have no opinion on Outer Worlds. It probably is a great game, but I just find it interesting how all the like negative reviews of a game that's like usually like widely appreciated and given critical acclaim or whatever come like long afterwards. I guess people are like, if I release this now, nobody's going to believe me because there's so many good reviews out. So I've got to wait a long time. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. I guess it's just like the souring process of like after you've
yeah, maybe, yeah.
like after you've
Well,
watched
maybe
a
play it
movie
and-
or something. It's like, oh, this was really enjoyable when I first watched it, and then it's like a couple of days later, it's like, it really wasn't that good. Thinking back at it.
It's coming to Switch in March though, so I might pick it up on Switch, depending if the port's any good.
See, I think it's a good game. I think it's just
Have you finished it, you guys?
No.
no.
It's in my list of games I need to finish.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes.
I mean, I know the ending now because I've watched so many videos on it.
I don't.
I'm not going to spoil it. Well, I will
Which
spoil
ending do you know?
it.
Don't actually answer.
All of the endings. Anyway, Jedi Fallen Order has sold
Good
over 8
game.
million copies.
I'm
With
waiting-
EA,
I'm scared to buy it because the combat's very Dark Soulsy.
I'm not getting it. Well, that's just because I know it's not my kind of game. But
No,
I've heard it's very good.
easy Dark Souls.
Yeah, but I don't like the style of Dark Souls as much as.
I was going to
which
get
is
the
why
Surge
I
the other
haven't
day.
put the time in to get good at it.
Yeah, I was going to get the Surge the other day when it was on sale. But I was like,
The only reason I saw with Bloodborne so much is because I fucking love the aesthetic.
yeah.
God, if I had a game that I could actually get all the way through that looked like Bloodborne, I'd be a happy boy.
It just depresses me.
Oh,
I see it and
so
I'm just like,
gorgeous.
oh, wait, there's Vampire.
Castlevania.
Have you played Vampire?
It's not the
Vampire,
same.
It's a very similar aesthetic. It's like kind of gothic
Yeah.
London. It's not like as fantasy as Bloodborne is.
Yeah, I think the fantasy, the design elements of it.
Fair enough, yeah.
But if I could just beat the shit out of the things instead of them being out of me.
But EA is predicting that Jedi Fallen Order will sell 10 million copies by April instead of their previous 6 to 8 million copies. There you
Nice.
go.
It's a good game.
So they're doing much better than they thought.
I hope that it does receive single player DLC.
It's not
Because-
going to.
Damn.
So there you go. Anyway,
How do
moving
you
on.
know this?
Well, I don't know. I feel like they would have announced it if they were.
Well, they didn't exactly. See, Fallen Order has a very messy development history because it was made
Always
from
a good sign.
made from the remains of another game from
Yeah.
a different studio who was closed down.
I don't know. I feel like I can't imagine it. I feel like if they were going to do anything, they would have at least hinted a little bit at it. And I, feel like I haven't heard anything.
think they were just testing the water because EA has a difficult history in the last couple of years with like single player games.
I know that this has compelled them to do more single player content,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's going to be single player content for that. The final piece of news, guys,
Yes.
we're almost
Yeah.
there, and then we can move on to our main topic. Shall we see how long we've been going?
Oh,
This is
God.
when it's not been recording. Almost an hour, 53 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had longer.
We have.
We've had longer news.
This is actually Cyberpunk news, which kind of goes into our next topic. So this was a clever one for me to end on, and I totally did that on purpose.
Hey.
Anyway, CD Projekt Red have confirmed that as well as side quests, as well as main quests,
Yeah.
and as well as minor quests, whatever the hell that means, there will be street quests in Cyberpunk 2077,
Sweet.
of which there will be 75 street quests. and this is a direct quote from them. They are described as little quests where there's no story. Nope, that's wrong. That is factually incorrect. Let me start that again. I've written this really weirdly. They are described as little quests. There's a story.
Is there?
Oh wow,
Is
that's
there?
changed.
Wow, you've really gone 180 on this.
But there's not like advanced cinematic storytelling sequences so much. They're a way to explore the world and level up your character. This screams to me mindless side content like collecting feathers and shit in other games.
Yeah.
Apparently they're like built from the ground up and they're going to be really interesting, and everyone's like, CD Projekt Red do really interesting stories. But you telling me that they've got like unique stories for side quests, main quests, minor quests, and 75? It's not. It's going to be people being like, oh, my cat got stolen, can you go get it for me?
My cat's stuck up a tree.
They said like, oh, it's the
Want a cookie?
you get the crinkliest
Yeah.
packet. Yes, I do want a cookie. But I feel like they said that it was like the bread and butter of these like job as a bounty hunter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just gonna thank you. It's just gonna be like go kill X, Y, and Z.
Cookies.
Anyway. Why are we all eating in the middle of a
Because I
podcast?
remember I had a bag of cookies, just why we're all eating.
Anyway, everyone else go pick up a cookie and enjoy it. This is the cookie break, where we all eat cookies. The regular segment on the show. Jonathan has to bring the cookies every time. Thank you, Jonathan.
For some strange reason, you always want to do the podcast when I want food.
I don't know why.
Because you always want food.
I'm a fat boy.
Hey, don't say that about yourself. You're beautiful.
You're
Hey, you're also not fat. You're the complete opposite of fat. You're the skinniest guy I've ever met in my life.
I'm the skinniest guy anyone's ever met.
Yeah, that's very true. Anyway, that's the news done.
Yay.
But we can segue from Cyberpunk to our next segment, which is our most anticipated games of 2021. JK Lol 2020.
Hang on, I need to find a joke answer.
Oh, please don't. That's
Wait,
Owen's job.
Wait, bear with me.
That's
bear
Owen's
with
job,
me.
he's the funny one.
Bear with me.
Jonathan,
Wait, bear with
find
me.
a joke answer for me too.
Just hang on, bear with me.
It's gonna
Hang
do
on,
your job
bear
for
with
you.
me.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
You were bearing
I'll
with
apply
you.
it for
Bear
the
with me.
podcast now.
Halo
Yes.
Infinite.
That's not
Oh
a
no,
joke
I'm actually a
answer.
bit excited about that.
I mean, I'm not going to have the right console for it, so...
Yeah, but it's hardly a joke. I thought you were going to say something like Life of the Black Tiger 2.
Should I go through all the big ones and then we can do a quick rundown of our opinions?
Right, first of all, who's the presenter here? Okay,
Me.
I'm gonna.
Right.
Guys,
First one.
no, shut up. I've got an idea. I'm gonna go through all the big releases of 2020.
Oh Tom, that's an amazing idea.
Thank you, guys, and,
where did you come up with it?
I just off the top of my head, nobody
If you
said
want to
it.
know what to Google, it's Games Release 2020 is
Thank
what
you.
got me the list.
So I'm gonna search games released 2020. In the hopes of who knows if I'll find something. It's completely an experiment. But oh, look at this! All the video game releases for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. Would you look at that? I'm not going to go through all of them because it's going to be a waste of time. But I'll go through the ones that like are clearly us centric. Oh, what? I
I
don't
who
know.
went on. Do you want just hit my phone, man, dude?
No, I'm looking at this. Oh man. Okay. Well, For Honor's getting a new season. Do you guys play For Honor?
Yes, I have played through it.
Are you gonna
I
get-
still occasionally play it. I haven't bought any of the DLC. So
Fair enough.
if I did buy any of them, I'm not going to buy this one.
There's two that I'm kind of excited about. There's Persona 5 Scramble. I know you guys didn't play Persona 5, but it's a kind of sequel to Persona 5, except with like Dynasty Warrior gameplay instead of turn-based, which everyone's a bit iffy on, but I'm excited for that. And the new Yakuza game that's coming out, Yakuza 7.
Yay! I love Yakuza.
New character. Don't spoil what happened in 6 if you know, but something happened to the main character, which is why they're now ending his series. But they're starting with a new one, and it looks amazing. It looks very, very funny. I'm very excited. It's out in Japan.
Yeah.
It's doing really well in Japan, and it's now got turn-based combat, which
Oh,
Great.
it's that one.
yeah, which apparently though the guy said if you like get it, then it will be as if you're playing an action game and not turn-based. Like it's going to be that fast-paced or something. I don't know. It sounds really cool.
That makes no sense to me.
No, me neither. Dreams. You guys seen all the crazy shit people are doing in Dreams?
Dreams is really cool.
Yeah.
Dreams is something that requires so much more creativity than I have.
Someone's making an Avatar Legend of Aang game inside of Dreams.
Oh, yeah, I
I'm
saw
not even
that.
kidding, and it looks amazing.
I kind of want to get
Look it up
and
on
then-
YouTube. It's honestly, it looks amazing.
It's honestly like one of the most ingenious things.
I think it's incredible. I think it's a really good
an
idea.
amazing sequel to the Xbox exclusive Spark.
Yeah, but it's so better. Also, I think.
Oh my God, this is
announced
done
about
by
the same time,
month.
I think.
Oh man.
It is proper good.
We've got a shit ton of stuff coming out this year, by the way. This is a good year for games. Okay, we're in March, and I think March is
It's
the
just
first.
not a good. It's just not a good time for the first half of the year.
I don't know. I've just looked through like a list of like 20 things that are coming out in just
Oh yeah,
February.
I've got all this. Here.
Okay. We've
Right.
got. I don't know if you guys care. Did you guys play the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games way back when?
It was the first Pokemon game I ever played.
I played it. I didn't really like it.
I played it when I
Mystery
was.
Dungeon Blue Team. That
Yeah,
was my first
yeah,
ever
yeah, yeah.
Pokemon game.
I played it when I was a kid, and I felt like I didn't remember much about it. And then they've recently announced that they're revealing a kind of like a remaster, or I think maybe a remake of the old games. And when it played the trailer, I was like, shit, I remember that music so well. And like the gameplay and stuff, I was like, it all flooded back, and I was like, man, that was so much fun. Okay, also in March we've got Neo 2.
I don't know.
Oh, Neo.
Neo.
Why did I say Neo?
Neo. No, Neo. Nioh 2. Which is Jonathan's favorite game because it's a Dark Souls-like game, and you love Dark Souls
Oh,
games,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Set in,
What did I try and play recently that was... Oh yeah, I played the demo for that thing.
Oh yeah, that thing that everyone
That
knows.
thing that we were talking about with
Code
the...
Vein?
Code Vein.
Yeah.
Didn't find it that interesting.
Yeah.
No, but it's quite easy though, isn't it?
It's quite
It's like
interesting.
easy
I find
Dark
it
Souls
difficult,
combat.
It's
But
very
again, I'm
It
not that
really
big fan of Dark
helps.
Souls style combat.
It really helps having someone there with you.
Really?
Yeah, do you not think? Having like an AI player helping you out in the fight.
seriously, like boss battles, you can just sit in a corner and let them fight.
Don't know. Oh yeah, sorry, I completely forgot they were a thing.
What
I
is-
didn't play.
what's happening with you?
I played it for about.
It's like the Ashen, which I think is a really good idea, which is like co-op Dark Souls. Anyway, yeah, on the same day.
First Neo was a good game. I am fairly excited about Neo too.
Good, I'm glad. I'm really glad.
I would be a Dark
I'm
Souls
happy
game.
for you. Guys, we come to our first game that we're actually going to properly discuss, or first two games, because on the very same day in March, March 20th, being released is Bleeding Edge and Moons of Madness. I'm JK. I'm JK, yeah.
I was about to say, what the fuck else?
No, Animal Crossing, Wild Horizons, New Horizons, and Doom 64. JK lol, Doom Eternal. But also Doom 64.
64 was a thing.
It was, and it's also getting released on March 20th. But anyway,
Do you like Animal Crossing?
get out. Get out. How
I can't-
dare
I
you
can't
ask me that
remember.
question? Are you being serious right now? Do I like...
Jonathan, he likes Animal Crossing as much as you like Dark Souls games.
No, I love Animal Crossing, yeah. It's one of my favourite games of all time.
Jonathan loves Dark Souls games.
Yeah. Wild World, or whatever the hell it was called, the one on DS. Fucking hell.
I played it quite a bit.
My memories of that game.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's you know that thing where like you think about your childhood and there's
No.
just some shut up, Owen, stop being miserable.
Yeah.
There's something that you'll like remember and you'll just be like, I want to be back there and experience that again.
I tried to play the old one quite recently. It's not the same.
No, it's really not the same. And I think
I don't.
I did that with Jack. I replayed Jack 2. I got it on PS4 and I was like, oh, I'm so excited to play this. And it just was not the same as I remembered it being.
I don't know if I'm going to enjoy the new one. I probably won't end up buying it.
I think I was the perfect age when I played Animal Crossing Wild World on the
Yeah,
DS.
totally.
Like,
Same.
it was just the right time for me. I got everything that it was trying to give me,
Yeah.
and I had a really good time. I think, not that I'm too old for Animal Crossing, because I think it's accessible for everyone. And I know, like, for example, Brutal Moose, this YouTuber I watch, he fucking loves it and he's so excited.
I think
He's like 30.
I think the thing about Animal Crossing is it's supposed to be the most zero stress game
Yeah.
Yes.
that's ever existed. You just go there, you do your stuff. You don't have to worry about things.
Yeah.
You just chill out and like live in that world. And I don't think I think I'm too on edge constantly now as a human being. So, because if I'm doing that, then my brain's just like, this is pointless. You need to do something productive. Whereas if I'm playing God of War, then my brain's going, fight! Or
Yeah.
whatever I'm doing at that time, or puzzle, or whatever.
Yeah.
I love the
My
sense
brain
of...
can't count anymore, is what I'm saying.
I love the sense of community that Animal Crossing gives, and like being in a kind of world where you're surrounded by people who are like your virtual friends, basically, which is what Animal Crossing does. It's really good. I love that, but I think I now need stories in the games,
Yeah.
which is something I'll
Yeah,
talk about
exactly.
later. But there's a game coming out, for example, called Spiritfarer, right? If you guys haven't seen this, you need to look it up. It looks like the most incredible game that's going to come out this year, and it's basically a like 2D game and you run a boat where like souls who are about to depart like live on your boat for a bit, and then you help them like pass on to the afterlife.
Do
And
they
it
pay
sounds. Pardon? Do they pay rent? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, that's not the important
It's my
bit.
fucking boat. They'll pay rent if I tell them to.
But it's kind of got that Animal Crossing like community aspect where like you get to greet new like people to come
Yeah.
live on your boat. But there's kind of a bit more of a story and a bit more like depth to it. Whereas Animal Crossing, as much as I love it, I feel like there's just nothing there for me. Like I don't enjoy the gameplay that much.
Your tastes in games has
Yeah.
developed.
And you know what did that for me? Fucking Xenoblade 2. It's ruined games for me. I hate it so much. It's my favourite game, but every game now has to be
We've
that.
got Tom's one mention of Xenoblade.
It gets in every
Chronicles 2
podcast. It gets
per
in
podcast.
every podcast. But the other game that's coming out on March 20th, as we've said, is Doom Eternal.
Yes.
I don't think any of us are interested in that. So
No,
should
should we
just
move on? Who cares about Doom?
Me.
I'm just gonna say it here. I think I speak for everyone. In fact, I do.
You absolutely
I speak
do.
for everyone here when I say Doom is shit. It's the worst. No, I'm joking. Owen loves Doom Eternal.
I do. If you've seen any of the gameplay footage for Doom Eternal, it just seems like some of the most satisfying mechanical controls in a first-person shooter I've ever seen.
It looks like Doom, but on steroids.
Yeah.
Like the 2016 Doom, which was
Yeah.
already crazy, but just fucking like I watched this guy on YouTube, GG Man Lives. I don't think he's called it anymore. But his title for it is "You are not prepared for this." And I'm just there like, oh my god.
It's
Okay.
like, I've been watching like a lot of the behind the scenes videos, and they're like constantly talking about like they want gameplay in Doom Eternal to feel like you're playing a game of chess.
Yeah.
So every weapon you have, every move you can do is supposed to be used in a specific way against a specific opponent piece, being like the demons. So like,
Okay.
a good example is there's this zombie with a plasma shield.
Mm.
You do no damage if you shoot with most weapons, unless of course you bring out your plasma gun, which overloads the shields and blows up.
They kind of did
That-
that with the new Wolfenstein game, didn't they? With the
Yeah.
like ammo types with certain enemies.
That
thing-
type of combat can either work really well or it can not work well because the risk with that is you just basically end up finding an enemy and then just switching to the weapon that kills them and then they're dead.
Although I've heard.
The idea, obviously, Doom has all other mechanics which make
Yeah.
it not that, the whole running and gunning
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
But games as itself,
But it's like you have specific enemies there to counter
Yeah.
how you use different weapons.
Sure.
So what you're saying, just whip out like your most powerful weapon, the rocket launcher. That won't work because there's
No.
a specific enemy that materializes shields, and the rocket launcher
Mm.
does a lot of like damage to the player.
what I'm saying
as
is you
well,
need challenge beyond just the switching of the weapon.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying there isn't that, I'm just saying
And
Yeah.
I think the consensus is that Doom Eternal is just like a fucking blast to play.
Yeah.
I've heard anyway.
oh absolutely,
And it's one of those games that like when it becomes $5.99 like the current one is, I'll get it then. But not
Yeah.
because I have anything against Doom, but I find Doom very, very fun
a lot of
for about
yeah.
20 minutes, and then I just switch off because it's just like fighting and stuff,
The
which is
second
fine.
half
But
of this year is the time when I'm supposed to be finding a job and finding a place to move and like
Yeah.
live for the rest of my life.
how are we gonna afford all these games?
How am I gonna have time for any? I'm either basically going to have no time to play any of them,
Yeah,
or I'm going to play all of them and be living in my parents' house.
I think the latter is probably what I'm gonna do.
probably.
Yeah, I like that second option.
Yeah, me too. That sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, and in March, 2BC.
to be
to be-
compared.
Oh, I thought that was to be continued. I was like, what a strange
I
thing
think
to
it is
put.
also.
Half-Life Alyx is getting released.
Is that the VR thing?
Yeah.
The
that's
VR
the
thing,
VR.
starring Rhys Darby, who's just a fucking
Not rich
legend.
enough for VR. Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of us have VR instances, but it's interesting that they've finally done like another
Yeah,
Half-Life
absolutely.
game after all these years.
April 2020. Resident Evil 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 a week later.
Yes, that interests me.
Final Fantasy 7, I'm calling it here, the remake, is going to be one of the best-selling games, if not the best-selling game of all time.
What?
Yeah, I think so. The sheer amount of hype behind this game, it's been in production for so
I
long.
thought you were going to say of the year, and I was like,
Oh, it's definitely going to be the best-selling game of the year. I think it's going to sell better than Cyberpunk as well.
do you really?
Yeah, I do. I think this game
I
has
don't.
had so much hype, and the original game has had so much hype built around it, that if people haven't played the original game, they're going to buy this because they think it's like the best game ever made. And people who did play the original game are going to buy this, which encapsulates every gamer, basically.
Is it full price? I assume so.
It's a remake. It's like a
Yeah.
whole new game, basically.
Yeah.
But
And
the thing is,
it
this-
looks incredible.
But that they've split the game.
What do you mean?
Like that the release of Final Fantasy VII isn't like the full Final Fantasy VII.
Is
I
it
think
not?
it's been confirmed they have actually split up the games into multiple releases.
Oh, really?
Really? You sure?
I don't think so. I think it is the full game. I think it's on separate discs. I think they're doing like what they did with the old game, and it's on 2 discs.
I swear I've heard from somewhere that they are splitting up the games in releases, but
Our official confirmer,
again.
Jonathan, will be on the job while I continue.
I might be wrong about that.
Yeah, no, fair. I mean, it's very, very possible. I hadn't heard that,
But
but
the
it's
thing
certainly
is,
possible.
I think Cyberpunk has quite a good chance of passing it in terms, because as far as I know, it's only being released on PlayStation, right?
Final Fantasy VII, yes, it's a
Yeah.
PlayStation exclusive, but I don't think that's going to stop it from being the best-selling game. I don't know. I just have this feeling. I have no real reason to back it up other than what I've said, but I just get this feeling that it's going to sell insanely well.
I think it will sell insanely well.
What is the highest?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knew it.
What's the?
But I mean, it's apparently it's so big. First part alone is being split
Yeah.
into two discs.
It's like it's a massive fucking game. But the thing is, the reason I brought that up is because I think the second release, if the first release is good, I think the second release will outsell it.
Oh,
I mean, to
okay.
be fair, I don't. Apparently, I mean, if it's gonna just be so much, yeah.
I lied.
Splitting
There's
things
no
into
way it's
two-
going to be the best-selling game. Do you want to know what the best-selling game is?
Go on.
Tetris with 500 million copies.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
after
like
that,
of all time.
No, after that is Minecraft
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
176.
Yeah.
So
Oh
it's,
yeah, I was when you said of all time, I was thinking in terms of like, just
I think GTA was 8.26. What did that say?
GTA 5.
Yeah.
5 was big.
Oh no. Sorry.
There's so.
It's more than Wii Sports, which is 82 million. So
Wii Sports being the one that they gave away with every
Yeah.
Wii, which is
Yeah.
why it's sold so high.
yes, but if GTA 5 is more than Wii Sports at 82 million, then it's got to be. Yeah. Anyway, I was wrong, but I do think it's going to sell stupid well.
No, here's the question: will it sell better than Wii Sports?
Yes, absolutely.
No, again, it won't.
So we've also got in April Predator Hunting Grounds, which looks fine. Trials of Mana, which looks fine. Gears of Tactics.
Gears of Tactics War.
Gears Tactics is a bad idea.
It's just an XCOM rip-off. And then we've also got Minecraft Dungeons
Yeah.
coming out,
Yeah.
which nobody cares about.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's the thing.
Very
Oh.
few people are probably gonna.
My boys.
People are gonna get it, and then but very few people are probably gonna stick with it.
I think May 2020 is when the first... Well, no, okay, there's March. Yeah, May 2020 is when the next big game comes out. Well, no, because didn't I just say Final Fantasy
Yeah.
7 is in April? There's big games every month. But anyway, Last of Us 2 comes out in May 2020, among other games that I do not care about. In June, we've got the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion.
not a new
July, we have Luigi's Mansion 3 Multiplayer Pack Part 2. So that's what you've got to look forward to in
Yeah.
July. There's some months where there's a bit of a break.
Yeah,
September.
Good.
You need.
To be fair, the second half is looking a bit slim at the moment. September 2020, all we've got is Marvel's Avengers and Cyberpunk 2077, which are both
Oh, is
big
that
games.
all?
No, they're big games, but like, there's no other big game
Well,
releases.
apparently the Marvel ones had some development issues.
Holy shit!
Does it look
Really?
interesting to anyone?
I don't know.
Because
I
I
sort-
see nothing that makes it go like this is a proper.
I sort of like get interested and then lose interest.
It doesn't look like a fleshed out game to me. It just looks like.
A tech demo.
What's
it
this?
looks
A
like,
Marvel
it looks like
game?
just a bunch of different characters fighting in different sort of caged off areas.
The Avengers game?
Yeah.
I haven't paid any
It
attention.
Is it
it
supposed to be
looks
open world or is it
I have no
linear
idea.
missions?
I don't know.
I really don't know.
I think it's.
I generally think it just
it
looks
looks
like,
like
a tech
linear
demo.
missions to me, but I just don't. Also, I don't get the appeal of fighting as like 6 different characters, where you. Because you're gonna end up with one that you like the
Yeah,
most,
then
and then you're gonna be forced to not play as him for half of it. or you are going to play as in half of it, but then you just
Well, I
play with
suppose,
one
like,
character
you
who
can-
doesn't have as
Yeah.
like have one character and then give
Okay.
them work, put all the effort into them. So
I
you
can
make
get
six.
what you mean, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think at this point we can only really wait for the release because people like. I mean, the last 10 years has just been Marvel hype, hype, hype. So people.
Oh yeah, the game was going to come out eventually
Yeah,
at
so
some point.
like the likelihood of it selling well is pretty high.
Didn't
Considering
they
the amount-
delay the Iron Man VR game? Right. I feel
I
like
don't know.
Marvel games aren't doing that
I
well at the
pay
moment.
0 attention to
Do
it.
people who like the Marvel movies though buy Marvel games? I don't think there's a correlation between the two.
I don't think there's a guaranteed correlation. I
No.
think if they made, I mean,
Well, here's-
now do you know what? I don't because they're not.
There hasn't
It's-
been a lot of Marvel games.
None of it's set in the actual MCU for a start.
Well, there's been one recently. There's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and it
I mean,
sold well, but not that
I
one.
don't think like Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man was helped by the MCU.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think any.
I think people who see Marvel movies because they enjoy the movies or they're like seeing a blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily going to then go out and buy a
The
Marvel
Avengers
game.
game
Marvel
tried-
movies are
they-
just popcorn movies.
The Avengers game tried to capitalize on the MCU fame by making their characters basically creepy sort of visual knockoffs,
Yeah, it's weird.
and that just ended up being really just.
Well,
I don't like it.
We'll see how well it goes.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. Now, these are the to be confirmed released ones. So they don't have a release date as of yet. So maybe there'll be more in September and the other months that have sort of less
Yeah.
releases in them. The first one, there's 100 in here. Well, more than 100, there's loads, but I'm skipping most of them. But the first one that was of note was the Fallout Wastelander expansion pack for Fallout 76. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. That was supposed to come out last year.
Yep.
They didn't release it. They missed their window of opportunity. No one cares about Fallout 76 now. If they release it, it's not going to get anyone coming back.
No.
It's a waste of a game. Destroy it. Take it off the servers.
Lynch Todd Howard.
Bin it.
And
Fire
it.
Todd Howard. I wouldn't say lynch. It's too far.
Okay.
But murder
Sorry.
him is certainly
Sorry,
fine.
Todd.
You can murder him, but don't lynch him. And just be done with it and move on to the next game. All you're doing by continuing to update Fallout 76 is taking away people who could be working on Elder Scrolls 6 or other games. So just fucking
Like,
So to summarise, work on Elder Scrolls.
just
I don't know.
end Fallout 76.
Well,
Yeah.
Fallout 76 is run by a different division.
I was about to say I don't know whether.
Well, then they could be making
whether
another
they can
game.
transfer just freely between.
Either
them.
way, it's a waste of time and everyone's money and space.
Yeah. Do
On my
different
laptop.
Game. Do a different.
I want to
smaller game.
uninstall it from my laptop. So either release the update now
You can
so I can play it.
You can uninstall.
No, because it takes a bitch to install again, and I cannot be asked to do that.
Oh, so you want to see the shitstorm that is.
I'm waiting for that expansion.
The thing is,
to
it's
come out.
going to come out and there's going to be so much wrong with it, and then there's going to be all these new news articles.
Yeah. I
Back
swear
on
to
that.
God, if they charge for it as well, I'm gonna flip my lid.
They can't, surely.
Yeah.
My
surely
guy,
you can't.
Fallout first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you make a good point.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
It's so easy for them to be like, oh yeah, $12.99. Oh, it's not that much money. Yes, it is. It's fucking loads of money for a thing that should just already be in the game.
Give me the thing that should be free, please.
If they charge money for it, then nobody's gonna buy it. I don't think.
I wonder what it's like in their offices though when they make these decisions.
I think they're just there like, what can we do now? And then somebody's like, well, everybody already hates us, so we just make as much money.
When they talk about things like customer satisfaction, it's all in the forms of just graphs and shit.
Yes.
Like
Of course
they don't give a shit how.
This is a company that has
like
gotten
they'll
too
have
big.
graphs of like profit versus customer satisfaction, and if one doesn't affect, if the lessening of customer satisfaction doesn't affect profit.
Ironically, I think Bethesda is becoming 2010's Ubisoft. Like, Ubisoft seems to care more about its community now than it ever has. But I think Bethesda is caring less about its community
It's
now.
becoming like Activision or EA.
When you charge for mods, you've lost
Yeah.
huge community support.
When you're basically trying to make money off your community,
Yeah.
basically interacting with
Hmm.
your IP.
You've lost all sense of
Yeah.
of understanding your community. 100%.
Yeah.
And they would have killed Fallout 76 if they listened to their community by now. But
I'm
people
fine.
do not care about that game anymore. Anyway, the next big game.
I feel like we've unceremoniously ripped on Fallout 76 like at least 3 times.
Yeah, I think we
in
have
this
as well.
episode.
It's just an easy game to rip on.
It's an
It's
easy
so
title.
easy.
I don't know how you compliment it.
But I think it's a good example of
What? Okay,
a company
let's
that's
go
gone
on the
too far.
table and everyone say one thing Fallout 76 did well.
It added that new song, "Country Roads,
Yeah.
Take Me Home."
The brand
to
new
the
single.
place. No, but it added that song to the Fallout universe, and I'm happy about
Okay.
that. And wouldn't it be? I don't know the lyrics of that one. I don't listen to it as much, but yeah, two new songs.
Ooh, one good thing that's come out from all of this Fallout 76
Yeah.
nonsense. The memes.
Yeah, it's had some good memes. Oh, and also it's a lesson to them to never make another online game ever again.
I don't think they listen to things like lessons.
No, they listen to money, and
Thing
they're
is,
not
though,
making that much
it's
money.
an amazing case study for any other.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing case study on how not to be a moron.
Yeah. The
A case
memes,
study in common sense.
the bugs, the music. Basically, nothing about the game is good apart from the music.
It's really not, is it?
No.
It's really just
And I've
terrible.
honestly, I think I've said this before, but I played it with my sister, and when we first played it, we actually really enjoyed it, and because it was playing Fallout online, you know, and we didn't encounter any bugs. We encountered some really good people on there.
One thing I always say when when it comes to playing things online with people, you've got to be sort of try and work out how much of the fun you're having is actually thanks to the game and
This
how
is
much of
the
it
thing.
is just the people they play. I had grateful when we started Elder Scrolls Online just because we were dicking about together
Yeah.
and making jokes and laughing at how much smaller I was.
Yeah.
I still got that screenshot
Yeah, I know.
of me looking up at Owen's head.
I'm pretty sure it's still the
Shit, I think it is.
the group photo or whatever for one of our various group chats.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you're absolutely right. The first time I played it with my sister, really enjoyed it, and I think a big part of that was because I was playing with her. But I think also a big part of it was it's Fallout Online, which sounds perfect. The second time we played it, oh my god, was it a buggy mess, and it just wasn't fun anymore. And we started realizing all these faults, and then we were trying to think of something to play, and Nina was like, "Oh, should we play Fallout 76?" And I just sat there, and I like internally groaned, and I was just like, "Oh no!" And it's the only game I think where I have been so against playing it that like. Oh my god! I just felt so bad about playing it because I was just like, I don't want to. It's so boring. It's a pain and a chore to play. It's not a fun game at all, and no amount of Country Roads playing on the radio fixes that game.
Country road, take me home, away from this shit
The
storm.
problem is as well is that it's the nicest looking Fallout game ever, and I think that's because it has trees in it. Fucking green, basically. It has more colours than grey.
Yeah, why are
and
there
brown.
trees?
Because they explained it in the thing. It's like it didn't get as badly hit by the bombs, so the trees survived. Or some bullshit. Apparently it's real. Apparently that can actually happen. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, but
Who cares?
But
It's
there's-
Fallout 76. No one cares. Also, you know what else annoyed me?
Go on.
Deleted all my fucking photos, which is one of the most enjoyable things about that game, right? You can like take screenshots and stuff in the game, and then when you load it, it shows you the photos that you've taken to remind you of your journey. And I was like, this is class. It's a cool reminder of like where we were and like where we've gotten now. And then it decided to delete all of my photos for no reason. Just delete all of them. And then I lost them all. And you know what happens when like a whole bunch of your saved stuff gets deleted? You have no motivation to do it again.
Yeah.
So I didn't take any more photos. Fucking shit game. Next game that's coming out that hasn't been confirmed is aside from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 obviously, but it's my most anticipated like new game that's coming out, which is
Chronicles 3.
oh my, they announced that this year. Oh, I tell you what, I've said this before, but
Imagine if you hated it.
Imagine if they
my guy,
Imagine if
you know I borrowed your Wii U to play Xenoblade Chronicles X. Didn't like it. Didn't like it. So glad I didn't
It's
buy a
an
Wii
agency
U.
game.
What if? Like,
I forgot I'd given you that.
Yeah, no, it's just in my room.
What if they skip?
I don't know.
What if they, rather than doing Xenoblade Chronicles 3,
Yeah.
they went straight to Xenoblade Chronicles 4, and there was just a game that existed that no one played, but
They just never explained where it was. The thing is that I love Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but I don't know if I like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because it's a Xenoblade game and it has those mechanics, or if I just really, really like the story. Like, if they do Xenoblade 3 and the story's not as good, am I going to still like it for the gameplay,
That's
or was it the
interesting.
story that I really liked? Again, another conversation for our story-based podcast.
Yeah. So tune in when?
Next week, yeah.
Well, I mean, my favourite game franchise is Assassin's Creed, and I can firmly say by this point that I have no idea why I like that. It's changed.
There is something
A lot.
about Assassin's Creed, though, isn't there?
There is.
I played Origins recently, and there's just something about opening up the map and seeing 100 question marks on the screen and going, yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get them all. And like you get there, and it's not really anything particularly special,
It's a fella.
and you just move on to the next one, but you still are like, yes, 99 more to go. Honestly, I love it. But yes, the big game that I'm looking forward to, and I know my brother is as well, and I think my sister too, is Ghosts of Tsushima.
Yes.
Oh boy, does that game not only look like the most visually impressive game I think I've ever seen.
Ghost of Tsushima, I don't know if I'm gonna like the game until I play it. I feel.
Apparently, from what I've heard, it's Assassin's Creed set in Japan. So
Mama.
I know I'm
What
excited.
sort of combat is it though?
I
I mean, I assume it's
It's
all
Dark Souls.
hitbox based.
you might not be far off.
Well, this is the thing.
I think it's like
Here's the thing, though. People often do just say whenever a game's combat's hitbox based, they just call it Dark Souls.
yeah. Watch some. They've released some gameplay of it, so watch some gameplay. It's from like a year
Yeah,
or so
yeah.
ago, but give that a go.
Yeah, because Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins switched to a hitbox based thing, which everyone still
Agreed was a
decided
good
to
idea.
compare. Yeah, it really was a good idea. Still, everyone decided to compare it to Dark Souls, and it's nothing.
It's
like Dark
nothing
Souls.
like Dark Souls. I think
But like, it's a
Dark-
weird thing because it really works.
Yeah.
Like the combat is one of my favorite combat
it's really
systems
good.
in
It's
games.
a lot of fun.
In fact, two of my favorite combat systems in games came from the same year.
Yeah,
Spider-Man PS4 and Assassin's Creed
fair enough.
Odyssey.
I think with Ghost of
Both
Tsushima,
combat.
it looks like it's going to be. I know from the gameplay that they've shown, they're trying to be as like realistic as possible. So instead of just like you spamming an attack button and hitting them with your sword over and over again, you're supposed to like lock swords with each other and like clash a bit. And I don't know how it is that they've achieved this. I know that the gameplay video they've got is definitely scripted, 100% scripted.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know how they've like if they are going to implement this, how they're going to do it. But I think it's Dark Souls in so much as like you've got to be more tactical because it's slightly more realistic. But I think it's Assassin's Creed in exploration and stealth and that sort of stuff. I'm super excited for it, and I like the setting a lot. I like samurai shit
Yeah.
so much. I like the sort of I think it's a Mongol invasion of Tsushima, which I'm excited for. It just looks fun, and the trailer they released with the ghost, it just seems like a boss. The only thing I hope, and I think they confirmed this, is that it has a Japanese audio track, because as much as the English is fine, it makes no sense to be English in Japan as a
Would you
Japanese
listen
dude.
to it with Japanese?
Yes, Japanese
words?
audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, with English subtitles. Like the
No English subtitles. You just sat there the whole time.
Eh? To be fair, I bought a game recently. I don't know if you guys do this, right? But I have this thing where I'll get obsessed with like a type of game that I want to exist, and I'll constantly search for it and search for it.
Yeah.
And the my favorite kind of game, it's almost a bit like Animal Crossing, is set in, and this sounds super specific, right? But it's set in like the Japanese countryside, in the kind of like 60s or 70s, where you go for like a summer vacation as like a kid. And you basically like can explore and you can fish and you can do all sorts of fun things. Basically, I want to try and like relive a childhood that I never had. And I was like, I really want this game. I really want this game. Like, I want this game to exist. And one does in Japan. They made a whole series of games like this, exactly like this.
It's called Mother.
It's not called Mother, but yes. Except it's only in Japanese. So I ordered from Japan for like £3 a copy of it on the PSP. Got my PSP back from my sister, and I'm going to try my very best to play it without understanding a single word of what's going on. But yes, Ghost of Tsushima looks really, 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 really good. Halo Infinite.
Yes.
Are we excited for Halo Infinite?
I
despite
am.
not having Xboxes?
Hello.
I've not cared about a Halo game since
Reach?
ever.
What, Reach?
Since what, sir?
Ever.
Reach, I love.
never.
Reach got re-released for.
I never
know,
bought a Halo
Apparently
game.
it's not that great of a port.
It
I
is.
never bought
I
a
enjoy it.
Halo game when it came out.
No, me neither.
Like the last Halo game, I played all the ones up until 4. I never played 4.
Do you ever get a game when it just comes out though? I very rarely buy a game when it's just been released.
Sometimes.
Fair, yeah.
I did get a few. I got
The only-
Spider-Man near release.
The only game
I
I've
get
ever
every
gotten
Assassin's
was
Creed at release.
Octopath.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'll probably get Cyberpunk at release.
It just depends how much.
I might not get
I'm willing
Cyberpunk
to
at release.
spend.
Yeah.
The only reason I won't get Cyberpunk at release is because of the PS5 and I need to save the money.
I'll get a PC.
Well, just
That's
get
another-
yourself a rich
That might be
girlfriend.
another reason why Final Fantasy VII isn't going to become the best-selling game ever.
Why?
How much money is everyone going to want to spend if there's going to be new consoles again?
It's in April though. The PS5
in
isn't going
April.
to come for a while.
Anyway,
Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite. I'm excited about this because Halo's 1 to 3 plus Reach and ODST were all made by Bungie,
Yeah.
and they did an amazing job with them. Great story, great soundtrack, great
Yeah.
visuals. You know, they created a really interesting world.
Great story. Anyway, yeah.
Show your
Okay.
face.
Keep going.
I
Yeah.
don't know the story of Halo.
Exactly. Anyway.
It's been like a decade
We're
since
messing
I
with
played.
you. We're messing
Anyway.
with you. Yeah.
Then Bungie said, okay, we're done. Reach is our last game we're gonna make for Halo.
Yeah.
It's over to 343 Industries to make the next lot.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Halo 4 comes out.
Not good.
Well, it's alright.
Well, it's not good though.
It's alright. I mean,
It's got a quick time event for the final boss.
yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is that if player 2 gets there before you, they're the one in the cutscene. I don't know why, but they are. So my
There's
sister.
Player 2? Is it co-op?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah. All
It was the
Halo's
last.
co-op.
No, it was
Oh,
the last.
yeah.
5.
It was the last co-op
I
Halo.
forgot it came out in the time when games did
Yeah.
that.
We get to the final boss. I'm like, I can't remember why, but I was lagging behind. Not thinking much of it. My sister goes and activates the cutscene, and she was the one in the cutscene. And I'm just like, where am I? I'm Master Chief. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah.
That's
So
kind of
Infinite. You're excited for
yeah.
Infinite.
So Halo 4 took like the art style in a really weird direction that people were sort of okay with, but there was lots of people who weren't happy with it, and then the story was a bit weird.
Crap.
Because it's like introducing an entirely new enemy that you've heard of, but it's like sort of out there.
I like the Cortana stuff, but I feel like
yeah,
it
the
was.
Cortana stuff in Halo 4
Hot
is
Blue
really,
Lady.
really good.
feel
Hot Blue
like-
Lady, yeah.
I feel like it was underutilized.
Does anyone else?
It was let down by the rest of the story that was
Does
there.
anyone else feel like it's weird that Microsoft called their AI Cortana?
Absolutely
No,
not.
No.
I think
Okay.
it's a really cool homage to.
Cortana was like is basically the most well-known
AI,
AI, thing
yeah, absolutely.
connected to
Yeah.
Microsoft. So
Yeah, but
I think the
just
most
feels-
famous AI character in all of media. I think. Name another AI
Ow.
character in media.
how
Yeah, from 2000. Yeah, sure.
yeah.
But like
That's
name
what I genuinely thought.
name like a huge one in like
C3PO.
video game media as well. But like I can't think of
C3PO.
any. C3PO is a robot,
Yeah.
not AI.
He's
you
got
know,
artificial intelligence.
you know.
Yes, no,
Bro-
I know, but as in like an AI character that
Will
like
Smith's robot.
again, it's a robot.
Sonny.
Yeah.
Not robot, as in just AI, like as in
Oh,
like
with what? Just the
Cortana.
interface without
Yeah,
the body.
just like Cortana.
Holly
His-
from Red Dwarf.
Yes.
Yeah, as famous as Cortana.
Yeah.
I would shut
yeah.
up.
Anyway,
No.
anyway, you've proven my point.
Anyway,
I'm
anyway.
definitely right.
Anyway, then Halo 5 came out. People were. Some
not
people
like
liked it. A lot of people really didn't.
Yes,
They ruined the Halo sandbox into.
it was just bad. It didn't even have co-op.
Yeah.
Halo got rid of co-op.
But then here comes Halo Infinite, bringing back the old art style from the original games.
Right.
Hope from what the interviews seem to be inferring that 343 have gone back, tried to take as much as a step away from like Halo 5 as possible.
Wait, there's a Halo 5?
Yeah.
Yes, he was just talking about it. Were you not listening?
Yeah, I know. Sorry, my brain heard it, but then I didn't think about it. And then my brain went, there's a Halo 5?
So yeah, from the sounds of it, they're taking like a massive step back from like Halo 5 and Halo 4 and trying to bring everything back to like why people loved like CE 2, 3.
Does
Reach
sound like a
ODST.
lot of stuff being said with little evidence.
Well, this is what I was going to ask, because what other than the CG trailer have they revealed about the game?
Yeah.
They haven't done anything. The only
No,
news
well,
I
they
know.
do.
It's only interviews and stuff, really, isn't it?
Yeah, interviews, but those interviews have also included like development footage and things like that.
The only thing I know about the game is that they hired a psychologist to help with microtransactions. That's the only thing I know about it. and that isn't a good sign.
No.
And the CG
Are there
trailer.
microtransactions in it?
Well, that's the we don't know yet, but it's looking
here's
like
the
it.
thing.
I'm not trying to shit on Halo Infinite. I want it to be good,
Say,
but yeah.
like,
I
the
have
microtransaction
no
thing
investment in it.
is probably very much related to the multiplayer, obviously.
Yes, you'd
So
hope.
the single player campaign probably will be fine.
To be fair,
as long as they keep the multiplayer sandbox alright and not go as fucking mental as they did
Yeah.
in Halo 5, where it's like, oh, you can buy variations of weapons in like this war zone sort of thing.
I can't believe there's an entire Halo game that exists that I never
I know.
knew.
Yeah.
to be fair, it did really bad.
To be fair, it's the worst one.
I also don't care
Right.
about its existence.
Halo Reach and Halo ODST are my favorite Halo games, right?
Yes.
And I think there's a strong argument for ditching Master Chief and making Halo games about other characters.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, whenever you get to a conclusion of a planned story, and you try to continue that story, you always like the main character you've had for how many movies, games, books, whatever, becomes significantly less interesting. 'Cause
Why
they've
didn't
already
Halo?
Done...
Why didn't Halo end with? Well, at least Master Chief's story end with Halo 3 when he died.
No, he didn't die. He
Well,
went to sleep.
Yes, but it was like basically he was gone pretty much, and
You
it would have
can't.
been
I
done.
think
They could have ended it there.
Master Chief is it's all business. Master Chief is such a massive part
I
of
know,
Halo's
I know.
branding.
I completely understand that. I just mean like
It's like with Star Trek. Oh, we need something that looks like the Enterprise. We need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
reference.
What
it.
People
was
think
great-
Of Halo, they think of Master Chief.
what was
That's
great
the
about
thing.
Reach and ODST was not necessarily the fact that Master Chief wasn't in it, but the fact that it wasn't tied to the other story, so they were completely free to do
Yeah.
whatever they wanted. And I think that's why
Again,
I
I
like
think
them.
I think that's an argument you can make for pretty much every franchise after a certain point.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just
Like,
think
Star
Halo's.
Wars,
Can I just
Star
point
Trek.
I
out-
just think Halo's reached
I
that
don't
point.
remember so I played all the Halo games up until 3,
Yeah.
and I don't remember any of the story. The things I do remember, the images that stuck in my mind, which I think makes it a pretty good example of the brand of the things in Halo that sticks in the player's mind.
Yeah.
Master Chief,
Yep.
Yeah.
Cortana,
Yep.
Yeah.
little aliens that run around a lot, and
Grunts.
Yeah. Grunts.
and a spiky gun,
The Needler.
Neela.
Yeah.
They're the 4 images that have been ingrained in my mind the most.
Yeah, that's
from
fair.
Halo.
I think, I mean, other than maybe the Arbiter, who's also, I think, quite popular
Yeah.
I
from
don't
those
know.
games. He's the, like, alien that you get to play as in 3 and 2.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah.
Is he the dude at the beginning of 3? Master Chief's like, oi, what the fuck?
He's the one who, like, defects from the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
And then it splits between the elites and the brutes, and he, like, leads the elites and he joins Master
Oh, there's some other enemy, and
The
it's like Flood.
The
Chief.
flood.
Yeah, the
I
Flood.
remember that. I don't remember what they look like. I just remember him.
They're, like, little heads, and they latch onto you and turn you into zombies.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a
No,
bit more-
the
bit-
thing is...
it's a bit more than that, but
That's pretty
Right.
much what it is.
yeah, it would take like so fucking long to explain.
I love Halo,
Please
but...
don't try.
I'm not. Don't worry.
I love Halo, but 1, 2, and 3 have the most confusing story
No,
I've
I
ever
think they're
played.
alright.
And also, and I know Owen's going to disagree with me, and that's
Yep.
fine. I played through all of them with my sister, and like you say, games are usually more fun when you play them with other people. Those games are just not that good. Halo 1, 2, and 3, just not that good. Halo Reach, really good. ODST, very good. Other games, just not good.
I would heavily disagree.
I know you would, but let's move on. we
I
get
played through them at a point in gaming where I just play through anything.
Yeah, no, same. And I
If
think
I had a game, I just play.
I think
through
they're one of those
Brilliant,
kind
yeah.
of like games that we all played when we were much younger, and I enjoyed playing them when I was younger. And maybe it was playing them again when I'm older, and I really enjoyed playing them when I was younger, so it kind of like ruined that for me. I don't know, but I'm glad that you like them, and I know
Well,
loads of people
I've-
really enjoy them.
I've replayed.
Yeah, because
uh,
it's all on PC now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you
Reach
know-
is on the PC.
Here's the.
The others you still need. They're still porting most of
Yeah.
the MCC.
Do you know
to
the
PC.
beginning of my gaming after, after I guess when I first got an Xbox in 2011. The end Christmas 2011.
You know what? I
Sky-
think I got the Xbox in the same Christmas.
Skyrim had just come out. I didn't know what
No.
the fuck it was.
I got mine in 2012 then. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was the end of 2011, so you go next year. Anyway,
Yeah,
never mind. And I, through that time, this is probably why I like Assassin's Creed so much. I started playing games. I found a thing advertising in Xbox magazine because I got that because I was like, sure,
Yeah.
this will tell me what games are good and stuff. I saw a preview for Assassin's Creed 3, so I was like, that looks hella awesome. So I bought the first one, I played through them, and then I played through the Ezio trilogy, and I was like, fuck, these were good. And in between Christmas then and the next year, I played through all the Assassin's Creeds twice.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
some
that'll do
dedication.
it.
That's a big reason why I like Assassin's Creed so much.
Absolutely. I wrote a review recently for Cave Story. I don't know if you played Cave Story, but it's fucking terrible. But one of the things that I noted about it was that when I played this mission in Cave Story, it was so difficult and it was really, really frustrating to play and it was really boring. You had to kind of like I kept dying and doing it over and over again. And there's a similar mission in Jak 2 in which you have to transport some goods on a bike, but everyone is trying to shoot at you and it's timed, right? I know I beat that mission in Jak 2 because I finished Jak 2, okay? But I cannot do that mission now because I don't have the patience to play it anymore. And I remember as a kid, like you just said, when you played all the Assassin's Creed twice in like a year or whatever, I could so easily do that as a kid because I had the patience to get through bullshit missions like that one in Jak 2 and all the bullshit, and also just dedicated so much time to playing games. But now, fucking hell, if I can even play an hour of a game like a week, like I struggle to play games now. It's so frustrating.
Important thing I discovered, by the way, on the second playthrough, the first Assassin's Creed game, shit.
The second.
The first.
The
No,
first.
the second one's great.
The first one is terrible. Yeah.
Oh,
It's so bad.
It's
yeah.
such a non-game.
Yeah, it's really
it's
not
just so bad.
I don't even like the second one, but
Jonathan,
yeah.
if you want to know how bad it is, play it on PC with keyboard and mouse.
Was that
It was
I
a
remember
bad
at one
port
point-
with using things it's really not good for. It was
Because
so
the old
so
Assassin's
bad.
Creed combat was so hilariously easy.
Yeah.
I remember at one point I got in trouble with the guard in the first one, and I just literally didn't even. I decided instead of running away, I just let them attack, and then I ended up getting through so many guards they started despawning around me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you just wait and then you just counter and then kill them.
You know what made
It's so
me
funny.
realise the fall of Bethesda? That problem exactly. In Morrowind, if you attack a guard, fucking good luck getting out of that one alive. In Oblivion, if you attack a guard, it's difficult. In Skyrim, kill all of them. You can kill every single guard and it doesn't matter. They're so easy to kill. My god, did Bethesda stop caring about their games. Anyway, you just reminded me of that.
Anyway.
Moving on. There's Godfall, which we saw a bit of gameplay for. Did you see that?
No.
So somebody leaked like an internal like trailer that they make for like investors and stuff to show progress, and it looks really good, like visually.
I have no idea what the game is, but
It's a third-person hack and slash looter shooter kind of thing, but not shooter slasher. Is what I've heard. No, it looks really really good. Honestly, try and find this.
Actually, I
game
went
for
like that. Is it more?
It's like
Is it Devil May Cry sort of?
No,
Okay, good, because I don't like.
it's not like that. We'll look up some gameplay after
I
this.
don't like things with combos.
No, I don't know if it's that. It might be more like the old God of Wars. I don't know. But anyway, that got leaked, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, that is gameplay of it, but it's like a year old, so don't trust any of that." But it's still a good like guideline to go off it. But that's cool. And we've also got Hellblade 2.
What's it called again?
Godfall.
Because I typed in Greedfall, which is that old game that came out a bit ago. Do you remember?
Old game. It came out
I know.
last year
I don't
in
mean,
November.
I don't
yes.
know what I mean.
I did.
I said
Which
old.
also got some good reviews, and then recently everyone's been like, "Hey, cheat."
Yep.
So, what's going on with games journalism?
I've got a really itchy left ear.
That's the thing. The games journalism is in a really dire.
I might do my
situation.
dissertation on it. Who knows?
Well, the thing is, games journalism. People just go
You
to
don't
YouTube
know.
now.
I don't know yet.
People
Yeah.
don't care about like.
No, the
IGN,
best games journalists on YouTube. Although Eurogamer is still my all-time favorite website for game news and also features. They do some of the best features on just like stuff that is about games, but it's more interesting than that. Like they did this one about this guy who like worked on like the original Godfather game, and he worked on all these other games, and he met like David Bowie and Marlon Brando and people like that. And it's about this crazy guy who like you probably wouldn't care that much about because he was just some random dude who worked on these games. but who met all these incredible people. It's just an
That's
incredible
the thing.
feature.
I do think Eurogamer is probably like a good example of a good
I think
game
Eurogamer
journalism.
are solid.
Yeah, because like if you look at like Kotaku, for example, a lot of their art. I think like an example of like some of the articles they publish is like, which Pokemon would you fuck? It's like, all right.
Kotaku and Polygon are interesting companies.
Yeah.
Machamp.
To be fair, let's answer that question right now while Jonathan's watching the gameplay.
Like the best.
Who would I fuck?
The best part of Polygon has left Polygon.
Has he gone? The mustache guy?
No, I was talking
No.
about the McElroy brothers.
I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, I forget.
Monster Factory is no longer a Polygon.
That's true. But they've got Brian David Gilbert now, who is amazing.
Is that the mustache guy?
He's a mustache guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Have you seen his the video he's like sent in as an application?
Yeah.
It's really funny. Which Pokemon would you fuck? That's a question. For being honest. I mean, it would have to be the most like human-like, which is Jinx, right?
No, I
Oh, not Jinx! Jesus Christ, not Jinx!
No, but it's the most human-like.
God of War.
I would go
Yeah.
with Arceus. Because think about the amount of respect you get for fucking God.
Nah, that's true, I guess. Yeah.
Can you fuck God?
I'm trying. There aren't like hot Pokemon, are they?
No,
But thank fuck they're
Pokemon
not.
are not supposed to be sexy.
Well, they could be.
They've tried.
Let's be
Again,
honest.
God of War, they tried to make sexy for some reason.
Hashtag sex at Pokemon. Let's get that trending, guys.
Tom, just jump onto the internet and type in sexy Pokemon. You'll find plenty of fan art.
I know what I'm doing today. The other game that we've got coming out is there's a whole lot, but is Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga.
Oh my god.
They've
the
also
trailer for
recently
that was
announced
so
Saga.
Saga.
The trailer for that was so fucking metal. I
Yes.
don't even care if the game is shite.
They also announced recently, I think it's called Mara, which is their mental health horror game that they're doing, which the trailer for is terrifying, and I'm not going to play that game. So I feel like it's just going to make me more anxious. It's to do with like letting people experience what it's like to be
Yeah.
like, I think have like schizophrenia and all that kind of stuff. So
I'm okay.
that'll be
They're not. No.
It's really cool that they're doing this type of game,
Yeah,
and I love that their effort that they're making for
It's a really
mental health.
interesting take on how to make games. You start with a concept of like, okay, we want people to experience this.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting way of going about it, because a lot of the time it's like, okay, we want to tell this story, or we want people to play this type of game.
Yeah, I agree. I just think I don't know. It sounds very depressing.
Yeah, but you don't like horror horror anything.
I dislike horror vehemently. I
I don't like horror.
I think we've moved on, by the way, to our next section, because I'm looking through. I don't know. I feel like. Can anyone else think of any other games that are coming out that you're excited about?
Fable 4.
No, shut up. It's never coming.
It'll come.
Oh, I guess it's like Watch Dogs Legion and stuff, but
Yeah.
and Gods and Monsters, but we don't know when they're coming out because they've postponed them indefinitely. I think.
This year, might be next year.
Yeah, it's probably never though, isn't it? Did you see they did an interview inside of Watch Dogs Legion?
What?
They like
Oh, yeah,
they like
that was really,
they
like,
motion captured
Oh.
the interviewer and the interviewee inside of Watch Dogs Legion, which was cool. But I don't know.
I think that's sort of a thing that's cool for everyone that doesn't like video games.
Yeah.
I think that's more for them to be like.
This is what
look
video
at-
games
look,
can
this,
do.
This is what video games are right now. Because we all know that people mocap
Yeah.
to get into games and
Yeah.
stuff.
The
We've
other-
all seen it done much better.
Yeah, exactly. The last game I think that I'm excited for is Tales of Arise. I don't know if you've seen this. It got announced at I think E3. It's part of the Tales series, which are like anime games. But if you have a look at the graphics of
Tales of Vesperia.
yeah, look honestly, watch the trailer. I've never seen graphics. I think I've said this about 5 times recently, but it's one of the best looking games I think I've ever seen. So that looks incredible. Anyway, that's all of that. We've gone through that. I just closed
Oh,
that
and
out.
just last game. Fable 4.
No, Fable 4 is never coming out. It's been cancelled.
No!
I've cancelled it. Todd Howard went and he was like, fucking stop.
Damn it, Tom!
And he cancelled it.
You ruin every game you touch.
The next segment is the favourite of the show, I think.
Oh,
It's
yes.
my favourite.
Tom's favourite.
What are we watching / playing / reading / listening / cooking?
Yeah, cooking was in at one point.
/ what are we gonna play / read / watch / cook / listen to? Boom!
Beautiful.
Got through that one like it was Nobody's business.
Jonathan's favourite
Also,
segment.
I'd also like to point out that it's
I like the
currently
segment. I don't like the name.
it's currently 5 o'clock and it's still light outside. So high
wow.
five, guys.
Hey, winter's over.
Summer is coming. That's the official Game of Thrones thing, right? Summer is coming. That's the thing, right? I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I'm pretty sure the famous line is "Summer is coming."
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Summer's actually one of the prostitutes in the first
I
season.
think you'll find that the phrase is actually spring is right around the corner.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I
That's
think you'll
more
find the
catchy.
actual phrase is the sun will come out tomorrow. Better put down with that.
Tomorrow. Oh man, what a great not good film.
Annie.
I hate
What-
Annie. I hate both
okay.
versions of Annie. Jamie Foxx version is slightly more bearable. Anyway,
I haven't seen either of them. I have zero.
Good.
care.
My
'Cause they're not
favourite
good.
Annie is Star Wars. Little Orphan Annie.
who? I don't understand.
Oh, Annie Anakin.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I thought like, is this a character
Yeah,
in
I
the
know.
expanded universe that I just don't
I
know?
thought that too.
No.
Let's talk about what we've been doing.
Named Annie.
Let's talk about what we've been doing.
Put together. Yeah.
No, my arms are really it's
Yeah,
hot,
'cause of the
so
jacket.
tight. Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's like putting two
I was
magnets.
like, how weak are you?
Two magnets that
You
don't want to
can't-
be together.
You can't get over like the force of your hand.
I've just got constant force building between my hands. Like if I went like that to your head, crushed immediately.
Tom, it's because you're all the Jedi.
Ah.
I am all the Jedi. You know that kid at the end of Last Jedi? Me.
This is still gonna make no sense for anyone listening, so let's move on.
So, I'll tell you what I've been playing, if you like, because I've
go
got.
ahead.
Yeah,
You
Tom,
start.
you start.
I've
As the
been
You're
presenter.
the captain here.
right. I watched 3 movies. I've reviewed 2 of them on my blog, which I've never shared
Ooh.
with anyone. Although I should, because I'd get way more views.
Yeah.
So there you go. By the way,
Wow,
not gonna brag.
way more.
Not gonna brag, but since starting it, admittedly 2 years ago, I've amassed something like 4,000 views, which is
That's
pretty good for
That's
me.
not bad at all.
You put them on IMDb in the critics section, people click on it.
Oh.
And I tend to review movies that don't have many like reviews on the critics section, so I'm the only one that can read. Got it.
So basically, your way is sort of being like, you want to see a review for this movie? Well, I'm all you've got.
I'm the only one.
Corner of the market.
Yeah. So I don't know if mine are any good. They're just the only ones. No, but so there was Ni no Kuni. I don't know if you guys know of this franchise.
Yes, I do know the franchise of Ni no Kuni.
Okay, Ni no
I'm
Kuni.
shaking my head.
Ni no Kuni, the first game, was a kind of collaboration between Studio Ghibli and Level 5.
Yes.
Level 5 made Dragon Quest 9. They also make a whole bunch of Japanese RPGs.
Studio Ghibli?
Yeah,
They
Studio
make
Ghibli.
games.
No, they don't. But they made all the animated like cutscenes for the game. Level 5 took the Studio Ghibli style and used it for their like
That's
models and stuff. And Joe Hiyashi, who did all the music for the Studio Ghibli movies, did the music for Ni no Kuni 1.
I assume they also have like writers and stuff.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But it's all about like loss and death, but also like happiness and stuff, which is all like Studio Ghibli stuff.
Yeah.
So it sounds very Studio Ghibli, and it's one of the games that I'm like, I really want to play this game because it's just come on the Switch not that long ago, so I'm really excited to play it. But then they released Ni no Kuni 2. Studio Ghibli had fuck all to do with it. Joe Hiyashi didn't do the music, I don't think.
Aw.
The game made it independently, keeping the same art style, but apparently it's not very good. Then they released a movie, and holy shit, does it miss the mark about what is good about Studio Ghibli movies. It's made by the key animator of Spirited Away, so you're like, oh, it's got to be good. It's just terrible. It's so shit. It's unbelievably bad. It's just so weird. And the best way of explaining how weird it is to you, right? If you listen to the Ni no Kuni theme song, it's like that, like Uncharted music. It's really triumphant and exciting. Okay, there's this big fight at the end of the movie against the villain. And I'm like, this is when they're going to play the theme song. They don't play it. I'm like, okay, maybe they're just not going to play it. And then after the fight, they play the theme song! Why after the fight? It's a triumphant theme. Why would you put it after the fight?
Because they've triumphed.
After, no,
because you-
after he stabs him, then they play it. Not even like, oh, he stabs him and they start playing it. He stabs him, he's dead, a gate opens up, and then they play it! What the hell? It's so weird. It's so weird, man. And then there's like the villain. There's a thing in Japan, right, when they make an anime where they're like, we want the like people to be able to guess who the villain is, right? But instead of doing it like an Agatha Christie novel where they like leave hints, they're like, yeah, this guy's the villain. It's pretty obvious. He has the most villainous voice. He says the most villainous shit. He wears glasses, which, by the way, in anime means you're a villain. And he has the most villainous look. I'm not even kidding.
Fuck,
Literally,
I'm never going to Japan.
if you see a character in anime push their glasses up their nose, he's a villain. He's a fucking villain, right?
Like,
and then at the end, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a villain," and everyone's like, "What?" And the reveal is so dumb. Okay, spoilers for Ni no Kuni, right? You're a villain. This is what I'm talking about. It's a villainous look.
You gotta use that figure as just like.
It's a villainous look. The way that it gets revealed is this. Okay, I'm gonna give you a very in-depth explanation of Ni no Kuni the movie.
You're passionate.
Each person in the real world has like another version of themselves in the Ni no Kuni world.
Whoa.
Who likes the same things as them, looks the same, but they exist in the Ni no Kuni world. And if they get hurt in one world, they get hurt in the other. Okay, there you go.
You die in the game. You die in real life.
Or it's not necessarily like exactly the equivalent, but like for example, one character gets cancer, and that's because the character in the Ni no Kuni world is in danger. So there's a way of getting. Sounds really interesting. Not done as well as you'd hope. It's really shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So, the main villain gets told by one of the characters that the character's sister is called Sis Saki, right? Like Sis being an informal way of calling her sister, but for some reason he refers to her as Sis Saki. And he tells this to a group of people, but only this small group of people know, and the villain is included. Okay, so when the villain appears in the real world to kill Sis Saki so that the Sis Saki in the Ni no Kuni world dies as well, he says to her, "Are you Sis Saki?" So you know it's the villain. It's one of the people in that room because they're the only people who know the name. Okay, fairly straightforward. The other way that the guy knows, right, is that he says that magic smells and that he smelt his hand and he smelt like magic, right? There's a whole load of problems with this. First of all, they never once say that magic smells in the whole movie until this point. How are we supposed to know this? The second thing, he's the minister of magic. Of course his hands smell like magic. He uses magic all the time. And they never explain that each spell has a unique smell. And then another character's just like, "Oh yeah, magic does smell." And he's like, "You got me." And it's like, what the hell? How did they know? This is so fucking stupid, right? Anyway, you'd think the movie would be about learning to like understand loss and give up things, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Because there's two main characters, right? One of the characters' girlfriends gets stabbed in the real world, and then when the other two characters are in danger, they get transported to the Ni no Kuni world because they're wayfarers or whatever. Okay, one of them was disabled; he was in a wheelchair in the real world, and when then they get transported, he's not disabled. Okay, and so you think at the end of the movie he's gonna stay because he doesn't want to be disabled in the real world. It's never brought up again, him being in a wheelchair. Nobody fucking cares about it, right? It doesn't matter, okay? And then you think, oh, okay, maybe there's this whole thing with the girlfriend or whatever. And it's just, nobody learns anything by the, oh, fucking hell, so bad. Oh my God. The other movie I watched was Hellboy.
Oh, wow, that switched fast.
Hellboy.
The new one?
Yeah, it's just not good. It's got terrible CGI. A so nonsensical plot. I did this whole review in my head and I should have written it down because it was amazing. But I like analysed the whole film. I need to do a YouTube channel of this.
Yes,
right? I analysed the whole movie and basically like there's this bit where there's this House of Osiris or whatever, right?
Yeah.
With this like ancient British organisation that hunt monsters, right? And they ask Hellboy to come help them hunt trolls, these giants even, which is like their specialty. They're really good at it, okay? Because there's 3 of them and apparently they can't deal with 3. Fair enough. The real reason that they're doing it is they want to kill Hellboy because he's like in legend he's gonna become evil and kill everyone. So they're tricking him to kill him, right? The thing is though, there are really 3 giants out there, but they try and kill Hellboy before they fight the giants, and then they all get killed by the giants. Why not let Hellboy kill them and then kill Hellboy?
Let Hellboy kill the giants when he's tired. That's the perfect opportunity.
Yes, and then also there's this evil witch. Nimue, right, who gets killed by King Arthur by he uses Excalibur, and they cut her up into different pieces and like spread her body around the world. Okay, fair enough, or around Britain, right? And you think
the world's a bit too far.
Yeah, and you think okay, fine, and then the big evil plot is that she gets his help from this pig guy who goes and collects all of the different body parts and puts her back together. Alright, so you think the places where her body parts are probably really well defended. No, they're not. Nobody's defending them. They're just in churches around the world, around Britain, right? This pig man goes into this church, and you see all these monks, and I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna do like a really cool thing where like you think, oh, they're all just peaceful monks, but then they all have like swords and shit, and they get into a big fight and they all get killed. But no, they are really just like monks. They're just normal monks, and they all get killed. It doesn't make sense. Why are you not protecting these body parts when you know she's still alive and can be turned into an evil witch? It doesn't make sense. Hellboy is a bad movie.
I like
Metro Exodus is also terrible. Metro Exodus struggles so badly with informing the player of what the hell they're supposed to do, and it's frustrating as hell. Like, I was in this fight with this bear. Doesn't tell you how you're supposed to kill the bear. I just shot it for a long, long time until I realised that you have to throw a Molotov cocktail at it. Didn't know you had to do that. And then the second time you fight it, I shoot it for ages, nothing happens, I keep dying. And then randomly, it just works. And I almost quit because I thought I died, but it was a cutscene. And I'm so glad that I didn't click quick load and I just went back into the game. I don't know how I beat it the second time around. I really don't. It's a terrible game. Don't get it. There's so much more I could say, but I've already taken up enough time explaining why Ni no Kuni is bad. That's everything I've been doing, boys and girls. I did say I've watched 3 movies. The other movie I watched was good, but it's not what we're talking about. It's good, so, you know. It's not what
we
we're
don't
talking
care.
about. What have you guys been up to?
1917.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, 1917.
Yeah, how was that? You, because you've seen it twice now.
I've seen it twice.
And you've seen it
I've seen it
100 times, right? 900 times.
I will say
Thousands,
this:
yeah.
for anyone who wants to watch 1917, you
Yeah.
do not have to see the 1,900
Oh, boy.
and 16 previous movies.
Well,
You're okay.
I have, so I think I'm prepared.
Well, that's alright then. You'll understand what the references.
It's a great joke. That's why he's the funny one.
Yeah.
Did it start with Year One, that film by Jack Black and, and Michael Cera?
Yeah.
Right. You saw 1917. Any good?
1917.
Great.
Excellent movie.
Are you going to elaborate? You don't have a deep analysis like I do?
1917 is basically a snapshot in like one day in the life. Well, one day and a bit.
Not really in the life. It's not a typical day.
You never
Ooh,
know.
right.
It could be. It could be a typical
Well, a
day.
day in the life.
This guy could always be at war.
Yeah.
And
He is always at war.
Yeah.
It's just not normally running through all that shit.
Well, some of it you would have to.
Yes. But
Yeah.
here's my question. Is the like ending satisfying or not?
Yeah.
Because my brother
absolutely.
said it's the kind of movie where you know the ending, so it's not really worth seeing again, because you know how it's going to end up, and the whole point of it is like the journey to get there. So
I completely disagree.
fair enough.
I think the journey in its. I mean, every film, once you've seen it, once you know the ending.
No, but it's the kind of film. It's like in the same way as like a mystery. When you know who's killed them, then watching it
No,
isn't as
because
interesting.
I never really thought of. When I was watching, I never really thought, well, I wonder what's going to happen at the end.
Right.
Because I always assumed the plot of it. I don't know, is it a spoiler to say?
It's
I
absolutely.
I wouldn't have thought of this ending to really be a spoiler.
But don't say it. Because
Yeah, I
I
would
might
say
see it.
But,
But yes.
The way I describe it is like throughout the movie, it's like watching a hurdler.
A what?
A hurdler.
Isn't someone jumping over hurdles?
Yes.
It's an
It's like-
exhausting movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like like watching a hurdler. You're watching this person. You kind of know that they're not going to fall over the hurdles
Right.
because it's what they do. But at the same time, it's like, oh, are they going to make it? Are they going to make it? Are they going to make it? Can they overcome each of these things that happens in this person's life? And yeah, of course, you know that they're going to because
Right.
they're a hurdler.
Sure.
But at the same time, it does a great job of like.
And you need
building-
the race needs to end. The film
Yeah.
needs to actually like
But
be
like
a film.
when you get to the end of the film, you end up letting out a
Yeah.
sigh of relief.
Yeah, it's a very tense film because of the one shot
Yeah.
style that they've done it in. It's essentially you feel the exhaustion of the
Yeah.
character because you've seen just him continuously
Yeah, sure.
for the past
Like,
however long it
you've
is
been on this
going
journey
through
with
all
them.
this shit.
I think it'll be interesting to watch because I love Dunkirk, which is
Yeah,
exactly
it's
the
very
same.
much like Dunkirk.
It's the most stressful film I think I've ever seen. But that isn't one shot. That's all done.
This will probably stress you out more. I've watched Dunkirk. I didn't.
Yeah,
like
fair.
it, 1960.
Now I'm interested to see if the one shot will make any difference to me because I've seen a film called Victoria, which is actually done in one shot. Although obviously it's a bit less of a explosive.
1917 it would be so impossible to actually do it in
Yeah.
one shot.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And Victoria is quite tense. It's like a bank robbery film, so like the tension builds up, and I think the one shot adds to it, but not in terms of tension. So it'll be interesting to see if I feel the
It's very
one shot adds anything.
It's very tense in a lot of bits. A lot of the times it had me going, oh shit.
So you feel like the one shot like gimmick adds to the tension of the movie.
In an extreme way. I think it
Yeah.
makes the film.
It-
I think it would be a good film without it, but the one shot really
The thing, as
Yeah.
a one shot, it
makes it.
it makes you
amazing.
feel very much like you are on this journey with the characters.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
yeah.
Interesting.
But
They're going
You-
like they're walking through like the no man's land. You feel like you're also walking
Yeah.
the
with.
thing is, if you cut between scenes, you sort of don't get a feel of the continuality of the whole thing. You get
Yeah.
because when you give the audience a break, then they lose the tension of the whole film. Even the bits that are even the sort of conversational bits sometimes, you still know that the pressure's there of the
Yeah.
time and all that.
Yeah.
So you're not just like relaxed, but you're sort of you're just sort
Like
of
the
waiting.
downtimes in the movie
Yeah.
don't feel like downtimes.
You
Because
know.
you know every second counts.
Yeah. You know, with like conversations and dialogue and stuff, how is that shot if it's a one shot? Do they just flick between the two characters? Does the camera just like move between each
No,
one?
it tends to just stay
Yeah, it just sticks around.
pretty wide
Interesting.
on them.
Hmm.
I don't know how to analyze it further than that.
No, that helps. It's just interesting because I feel like that would strip away a lot of emotional depth without being able to get like a close up of a particular character during the dialogue.
they do get reasonably
You do,
close up.
yeah. I think they've just they very nice sort of finely choreographed the movements of where the characters are
Yeah.
to where
Right.
the camera is
Sure.
to make it sort of feel like any sort of close-ups and stuff. You definitely get the emotional feel of it, especially
Yeah.
with the main character. You really.
I really like. I think he's called George McKay. No, that's somebody else, isn't it? Or maybe it is him. I really like him. I think he's a talented actor.
He's a really good job in this.
Yeah, I'll try and go see it at some point. I mean, there's a couple of films coming out this month that I really want to go see, but I'll try and go see.
My full recommendation: go see 1917.
I'm gonna go see it and not like it though, aren't I?
Yeah, you will.
You probably
I really-
will hate it because I really, really like it.
Hey, to be fair, we
The
have similar
cinematographer-
opinions on stuff.
The cinematography is stellar, I think.
Yeah, we have similar opinions on stuff.
I only have one complaint about 1917.
Yeah,
I think some of the cuts where they've tried to keep like the continuous shot, there's like one or two that are kind of obvious.
there's one where he like jumps into water, right? I think I've
Yeah.
seen in the trailer.
Well, there's
and that looks
two.
really
There's
bad.
only really two that I really, well, three kind of that I really noted. I thought,
Yeah.
but even that was me going, oh, they would have cut there, rather than me
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
oh, that's definitely a cut.
I mean, I know from the trailer
There's one,
where he
there's one
jumps
where
in the
there's
water
an
looks terrible.
explosion. There's one where he jumps into water.
Yeah,
And there's the sort of obvious one, which I don't know if I should really mention.
No,
'Cause it's
don't.
kind of a spoiler.
Yeah.
you have to ask yourself why bother having him jump into water if you know you're gonna do this one shot thing.
What do you mean?
Well, like I've seen it in the trailer and it looks not very good. They're like it's very clearly like CG and stuff when he goes in.
Yeah.
And I just think like why bother when you know you're doing a one shot? Why just not have like is that a particularly important scene in the movie or
to be
It's kind of.
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like it seems like it's adding extra
like
hassle
it
for you.
leads
It-
it
it's-
leads on to like some really nice.
It's a nice. It's essentially it's a way of getting the character out of a situation
Yeah.
into a new one, essentially.
Sure.
Yeah, and to be fair,
Whilst adding action.
it only like that jump scene is like half a second.
Yeah,
Like a second.
it's
at
quite
most.
obvious it's a cut, but
Yeah.
You
the thing
soon
is,
forget about it.
the one shot thing isn't, in my opinion, or wasn't done as something to be impressive. It
No.
was definitely done because it helps the film massively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I ever noticed a cut, I didn't feel like, oh, they failed there.
Like if I
I'm
wanted,
like, well, they would have.
if I wanted to see a really good example of like a continuous one shot, technically, I'd like the technicality of it. I'd go with Birdman.
Yeah, although Birdman is
but
also one shot.
You've got to remember,
That's what-
Because there's lots of cuts in
Yeah.
Birdman.
Yeah, but like
They use a
For
different
their-
technique.
but you've got to
to,
remember
for,
the longest.
for their one shot bits, though. I mean,
For every
even
cut
those
we
aren't one
noticed,
shots.
I know.
for
but-
every
Yeah,
cut I
yeah,
the
noticed,
cuts, I
yeah.
mean.
I know there were many that I didn't.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the longest shot in the whole thing is about 9 minutes, and I only noticed a few in the whole thing.
I just wonder, I wonder why they didn't try and do it as a one shot. I know you say it's
It-
difficult,
No, it'll be impossible.
Yeah, it would.
Way impossible.
but why would it be impossible? What about
Just
it
the,
is particularly
the
impossible?
size of the sets. They
It's
would have
too much to do.
create.
You could just
Plus
throw a lot
also
of money
they,
at
you've
it.
got the physical
You
amount
could,
of
but when you
area
had-
that they cover, they couldn't they wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
do
Why?
find the actual location. Just that alone would to
Yeah.
actually put all the stuff in one continuous thing, because they do switch locations in between cuts.
Yeah, but like,
There's just so much space.
for example, in Victoria, which is all one shot, it's set in the entirety of Berlin. They go from one point of Berlin to another and then round back again.
But the thing is,
Like that's a lot of space to cover.
Yes, but you don't have to build Berlin.
Yeah.
No, that's true, but I'm sure you could find areas.
1917.
You couldn't.
You would have.
No.
Because if you see the film and you see just the amount of space that they
It
cover.
only had 90 million, which is probably why they didn't bother doing it in one shot.
Also, the entire film is either lit by the sun or fire, essentially.
Yes.
So to get the right lighting for 2 hours and then to get the whole thing perfect,
Yeah.
impossible.
I think I don't know. I'll need to watch it to see. But
Like when I say it's impossible, I mean it will be impossible.
yeah, yeah, I definitely need to watch it. I feel like if they changed some of the script, they probably could have done a one-shot World War One movie with the
It
same
would have been a
story.
worse film.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think it would have compromised the actual quality of the film for the.
Yeah. It would.
Like they would have had to make it a lot worse.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
would
Yeah,
have-
yeah.
It would have made the story less.
You would have been able to do one take a day, and it would have taken to get the whole thing perfect. It would have taken literally years
Fair.
with what the film is,
Yeah, fair. enough.
and you would have had to remove so much of that to make the film.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
absolutely.
It wouldn't,
I
be,
don't
it
even
wouldn't be the
think-
same
I
film.
don't even think you would get one take a day. I think you would probably take an entire day to just set up.
Well, I mean that
Most of the
you
stuff.
do one take a day, well, weather permitting,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to spend whatever time the rest of the day was resetting until, and then you'd have to spend all night. Resetting.
Oh, it would be exceptionally difficult, and obviously I haven't seen the film, so like you say, it probably is impossible. But I'm just
Definitely
wondering if
possible.
they're.
I have no doubt.
I wonder if at any stage, Shaun the Sheep was like, yeah, we could try and do this as a one shot, and
Well,
not after a script was done.
no,
Well, here's the thing about Shaun the Sheep. Great film.
he's called Sam Mendes, but I was thinking Shawn Mendes, and then I thought Shaun the Sheep. I don't know why. Yeah,
Like here's the thing. That single take Shaun the Sheep movie was amazing.
that was incredible. That was so
But
good.
yeah, you would not be able to do stop motion.
It's interesting as well because I don't think, from what I've seen of Sam Mendes,
Technically, stop motion is like 20 takes a second
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you really think. Of...
I've the only other Sam Mendes movies I've seen is Skyfall and Spectre, and I think the action in both of those is terrible. So I'm interested to see how he does. Yeah, it's so slow.
It's not slow in this.
Well, this is what I'm interested in seeing. I wonder because there's this bit in Spectre where Dave Bautista is chasing James Bond or whatever
I
in the
forgot
car.
Dave Bautista was in there.
Yeah, he's really good in it. And they're like, oh, we wanted to have this like high like speed chase and these like really fast cars and stuff. And it's just it feels really slow because of the way they cut it together. And I'm interested to see.
Good news. There's no cuts.
Yeah, well, but like that isn't necessarily a good thing because that could ruin the pace. But obviously, you guys have seen this; you can tell me otherwise. But
No,
like
I
not
love
having
the pacing.
not having cuts can often be a disadvantage for a fight scene unless you're the
My
raid.
worry with going into this film was that it would have some really slow bits,
Yeah,
just because you have to because of the nature of it. But I was great. I was in that
Yeah.
film the entire time.
well, that's what I'm interested in seeing. But yeah, I'll see if I can get around to seeing it amongst all the billions of other movies that are coming out.
There's also a few shots that are just so beautiful.
Well, Roger Deakins is very good at that.
Yeah, they've stuck in my head.
He did Blade Runner 2049, and
Yeah.
my only praise for that movie, which is fucking terrible, was the shots are nice.
You're like...
But then my criticism was they're not on screen long enough. So there you go. But I love Roger Deakins. I think he's a great guy. And he's a very talented cinematographer. So there you go. The more you know.
The more you know.
Jonathan saw 1917 and you saw 1917. Have you done anything else?
Yes, I have gone back through my Steam game library.
Oh, that's a risky move.
And I've restarted playing Shovel Knight.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah. Any
Shovel
good?
Knight's great. Yeah, so anyone who doesn't know anything about Shovel Knight is a...
Boy with the spade.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
pretty much.
It's a shovel.
They're synonymous.
No, not spades. Usually smaller.
You're trying to. This guy always has a specific like.
I want to know if there's like a maximum length the spade can be before it's...
A shovel.
Yeah.
Spade.
It's like a turtle, and a tortoise.
What if a turtle is smaller? It's a tortoise.
No, they're different things, right? But
Yeah,
they look
well-
exactly the same.
Yeah, well, they've got different
Like crocodiles and alligators. Different.
Today the
Same.
words are used interchangeably except by specialists. The spade is for digging, the shovel is for scooping.
This is why we have Owen on the cast, because he's the specialist.
Well, I mean, he
He can nitpick
he argued
everything
there
we
was a
say.
difference, but he had no idea what it was.
Anyway.
It's digging
you-
versus scooping, which are two definitely different things.
If you talk with
Anyway.
enough authority, you can make anything true.
So basically, wait, I think a spade if you want to make a
I
hole,
think I got into
and
heat.
a shovel is for if you want to get the hole into it.
Yeah.
This is how I blagged my way through film. I just
Anyway.
pretended I knew everything about film, but I
Anyway,
don't.
Shovel Knight.
Yes.
Great game. It's a 2D.
That's obvious. So rude. So harsh.
I just realized my laptop was like really close to its watch. So I'm gonna move that so it's not.
But you just put it on top. It's even closer now.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean it was underneath, so if like it slipped, that it could have fallen on the watch.
Anyway,
Shovel Knight.
It's a great. It's a great little indie game.
Yeah.
It's a 2D pixel art platformer in the same kind of vein as Mega Man, for example. Like you have different stages. You get through the stages, and at the end of the stage, there is a boss fight that you complete.
Mhm.
It's a great little game. The main mechanic is that you have a shovel.
So it's Minecraft, but
No. So what you wouldn't expect is
Shovel
that
Minecraft.
this shovel works
It's a shovel Minecraft.
as a pogo stick.
well, I did expect that because I don't know.
Where did it get the bounce from?
Falling.
That's not how springs work.
Yeah, that's how shovels work.
Well,
Well,
that is how springs
yeah,
work.
we
Do you
don't
mean that's how
use the-
shovels work?
Yeah.
Springs do work like
No,
that.
springs just
Jon-
the falling alone isn't
Jonathan-
how springs work. They
Jonathan-
also have the tension gained from
Jonathan,
the
I'm
impact.
sorry, did
with
I
the
say-
release of
All right, are
potential.
you a specialist as well? Okay.
I did a
We have
physics A
one-
level.
we have one
Jonathan, I'm
specialist.
sorry, did I say the game was called Spring Night? No.
No, but you
Good
said
job.
that he used the shovel like a spring,
No, I said
like
I
a
used
pogo
it like
stick.
a pogo stick.
which uses a spring.
But this
Well-
one uses a shovel.
Jonathan, I have to ask you a question. Is it worth it? Is it really worth it to get into this discussion?
I mean,
No, full well.
I expected me to say that and then it to be blown through.
There
But
was
apparently the
so
discussion
many.
needed to be had.
There were so many articles I could have done, but I did not do because I knew the exact response from people. When you're gonna say something, think about it very
Think about the
carefully.
repercussions.
This is how tense this podcast is. Anything you
Oh.
say
Yeah.
explodes in a second.
Yeah, Jonathan.
For no reason other than we have two specialists on this show that are specialised in the same thing but think very different things to each other. And that is a problem. Which is why you're both fired. And I'm hiring
Yay!
2 other people or I'm doing it by myself.
Anyway, shovel
Spring
night.
night, yeah.
Shovel
What are
night.
we specialists
Somebody,
on?
I don't know.
Life.
Springs and shovels, I don't know.
Jonathan, we're life coaches.
Yeah, you're both life coaches.
Oh
We're
god.
Tom's life coaches.
Yeah, and my
We
life
are
is
not
ruined.
well enough put together for that shit.
Well, that's why my life is terrible right now. Thank you very much. You're responsible.
You're
for
welcome.
that. Thank you.
Do you know how much alcohol I have in this house right now?
I feel like you guys can't be life coaches until you learn that
We have a life.
yellow milk is just not acceptable.
Yeah, John.
Yellow watery milk. Oh, I'm gonna throw
That
up
was
again.
none of our milk.
I
It was none
know.
of
I
our
know.
milk,
I don't know why.
Anyway,
I'm
shovel
gonna throw
night,
up again.
shovel night.
Ugh.
Yeah, so the main mechanic is like if you press down, You know, you point your shovel down and you can bounce off like enemies and stuff like that. And
So it's Mario.
It's Mario with one more key press involved.
no, you bounce.
Oh.
Mario don't bounce.
Okay, instead of
bounce.
no,
Oh, he
he
does bounce.
jumps. He doesn't
Yeah,
bounce.
but he bounces off the enemies.
Yes, that's true. He does.
But he cannot.
I
Counter,
think-
counter argument from Owen.
Does Mario bounce off them or does he just go straight down?
No, he bounces off him.
Bounces off
He
him.
hits them and bounce off.
But is it like a full jump or is it just little?
Oh no, he doesn't. Doesn't he
Yeah.
stomp them?
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't he land and they get squished? He doesn't bounce off.
I
It
think
doesn't
I
bounce.
think you can in like Mario Maker, maybe.
Yes, but normally,
You can
traditionally,
do. I think in the Mario Maker you can do the spinny thing, can't you?
yeah. But I think traditionally Mario does not bounce.
Anyway, Shovel
What
Knight.
goes-
Therefore, Shovel Knight is unique because Shovel Knight bounces.
Shovel Knight bounces.
There you go. And that's the only unique thing about that. I'm
No,
joking, I'm joking.
it's like and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
also got like loads of abilities
Yeah.
from like magic tools and stuff like that. But it's just a really well put together like classic
Yeah.
pixel art like platformer.
They did a like Smash, didn't they?
Ye-
With all the different characters. It's called like Shovel Knight Rumble or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Which actually, to be fair, looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because the character designs are really neat and I really like them.
It also had like an amiibo.
Yes, it did.
Sure.
I don't know how. Xenoblade didn't get an amiibo.
I think.
Yeah, but-
you think Xenoblade's a more popular franchise than it is.
It's very popular. I think it's more popular than Shitty Knight. Am I right?
Oh.
No, I'm messing with you. Xenoblade
Well,
is
it's
more
a good
popular
thing
than
that-
everything.
It's a good thing that I'm talking about Shield Knight and not Shitty Knight.
What the hell's Shield Knight? Is that a thing?
He's
being...
a character in.
Am I being dumb or?
He's a character in Shovel Knight. I'm
Oh, I
getting
see.
confused.
Well,
Because like most of the characters are something knight, so you've got like Spectre Knight and King Knight and
yes.
King Knight?
Yeah, Treasure.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
Mole Knight.
They have all of those.
Night.
All of those
there might be.
prefixes have nothing to do with each other. Like they're just random words put in front of night.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's I think. That's
So
it.
basically, like each of these characters have a stage that relates to their name. So like
Yeah.
King Knight, his stage is a castle.
Is he the big fat yellow dude?
No.
Who's that?
Homer Simpson.
Yeah, that's one.
No,
the wrong franchise.
there is a big yellow dude in it who's got a crown. Is that not King Knight?
He's not big.
Oh, who cares? I don't even. I've never played the game before.
And for like another example, you've got Spectre Knight, whose stage is a graveyard.
Cool. They need to do Night. If they don't,
There
I'm gonna
might be a
pissed.
knight.
And it's just a night. Or is it like a night with like?
Knight with an N in
Yeah.
front of Knight with a K.
Ooh.
That's
Isn't that Batman?
Yes.
the Dark Knight.
Well, he's Dark Knight. This is Night. It's a bit different. You can be Dark Knight in a dark room.
I would really like it.
so
I'd
Night
really
can
like
only
it.
appear at night.
Yeah, Night can only appear at night. He dies in the sun.
Yeah.
He's a vampire.
But yeah.
But he's
that
also
would be Vampire Knight.
No, he's Night. He doesn't sleep in a coffin or drink blood. He's just around at night. But he just dies if he touches the sun. But he also can't be in dark rooms.
To be
Isn't
fair,
that an actual thing?
To be fair though, Tom.
Where you
Kind
get
of. It's like what
letters or
Caliban has, isn't it? In
Yeah.
Logan. What's it
yeah,
called?
Except it's not a mutation, it's an actual.
No, but that thing people have that
I was
in real
going to
life.
I don't
say
know what it's
just quickly, Tom.
Right? I don't-
Most people would die if they touched the sun.
I think it's called.
Anyway, yeah.
It's called being Scottish.
Being Scottish. Oh, I loved Caliban in that movie.
Caliban was-
Logan is such a good film. Let's talk about
Yeah,
Logan. Has anyone else done anything?
Did either of you ever watch The Good Place?
Yes. The first season.
I caught episodes when I walked in and you were watching it.
Yeah, and
Season number 1, very good. Season number 2,
Not
okay.
watched.
Season number 3,
Not watched.
shit. Haven't seen season number 4.
Well, good news for you, it's ended now.
Good.
Was
I
it a
really
good
like.
It was a great ending.
Sweet.
I think.
Because it is hard to stick the ending for TV shows.
What are they called? Greg Daniels and Mike Schur, who are the two people that made The Office and Parks and Recs, the American version of The Office, not Parks and Rec.
The American version of Parks and Rec.
They're great. They're like, in a way, Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant when they're together. Different kind of humor, but they work really well together. But as soon as Mike Schur went off and did his own thing, aka The Good Place, that was good.
Good
Just
Place
didn't like
is
it.
great. A Good Place is my favourite of those things.
Really? Fair enough. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm also glad it's over though because it definitely is a thing that had a very certain lifespan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too.
Like
I
you
think
go,
it's-
It had a very unique idea, but the unique idea put limits on itself, so it told the
Yeah.
story what they
Yeah.
needed to do.
like
and
I
it
think
ended.
like it's like with like I love Parks and Rec, but like that the final season is just sort of
Yeah.
let's get on.
I think the final
Let's
season
get
is a
this
kind
over
of
with.
like, because what I love so much
I
about
can
Parks
watch
and
final
Recreation,
season.
you couldn't.
It bored me. Yeah, I
Alright,
started
fair.
watching it and it bored me.
What I love so much about Parks and Recreation is it's one of the very few sitcoms where like everything is just okay. Like people don't really fight in it. They don't have
Yeah.
any problems, and I kind of like that because there's so many like The Office that are just depressing to watch because everyone fights with each other.
Friends.
And Parks and Rec's final season is literally just the showrunners being like, it would be class if this is how these characters ended.
Yeah.
So Leslie becomes the president and
Yeah.
all this nice stuff. And those fine. Have you watched the last two episodes?
I know it ends really nicely.
You need to watch the last two episodes. It's such a lovely way to end a series. It's basically they do like one last thing as the parks department. They all meet up for some reason.
Yeah.
And somebody wants them to fix their like swing, so they have to fill out all these forms and stuff. And Leslie goes with like different people and like she like touches their hand or whatever, and it like shows a flash forward of what their life is going to be like. And it's so sweet and it's a really really good ending. And I've literally seen it like
Let's
five.
see psychic powers now.
Yeah, no. I've seen it like 5 times now because I keep watching it with different people. I love it so much. It's really
Yeah, like it's like you got things like Friends where every series you've got like now we've got 5 episodes of emotional.
Why is there always forced
Baggage.
conflict in these things?
Yeah.
Just
Because
Quite
that's
good,
how
just-
people think you need to grip an audience.
no, you just need
Do
people
you know
to be
what?
happy.
Here's the funny thing about the last season of The Good Place.
Yeah.
Is one of the great things. So the conflict of the season is resolved about, I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes before the series ends, and then the last literal few episodes is basically just the main. It's essentially just character resolution. It's just
Yeah.
the characters sort of.
It's tying up all
Yeah.
those loose ends
Yeah.
in a nice
It's like
knot.
giving the characters a nice ending, and then by the end it's over, and then you're just like, oh shit, that is like the perfect, because it's the most definite ending. Instead of just being like everything's good now, bye. It's like this is the characters very much. They're all like their entire personal arcs are very much done.
Finished.
Yeah, I mean
Done.
that's
Goodbye.
that sounds exactly like the end
Mwah.
last season of Parks and Rec. I think
Yeah.
that Mike Schur has a soft spot for ending shows like that.
I mean,
But-
it's a good way to end shows.
I think so too. It's just nice to end on a happy note.
'Cause
Like
the thing is, like, if you end it that way, no one's gonna ask you to come in 10 years later to make a a reboot series.
although
which is
apparently they're doing
terrible.
another Office. Have you seen that? Yeah. Apparently they're going to do another Office.
Do you know what
I
I
want the
watched
Armenian
recently?
Office.
What does everyone think of the British Office?
It's terrible.
I
I hate
like
it
it.
so much.
I watched it because I discovered that there's only 2 seasons of it.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I'll watch it, and it's all right.
I really don't like
I
it.
don't like Ricky Gervais.
No, me
I
neither.
That's a problem.
I find his humour unbearable to listen to. I just don't think. I mean, I'm really glad you like it, and I know
I
lots
found
of
him
people who
alright
love
a
it.
lot of the time in the office, but as a dude, his whole thing
Yeah.
seems to just be, I like offending people.
We're definitely in the minority because everyone loves The Office, and I can see
I
why.
I watched the whole thing. I thought it was pretty alright.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it again.
I don't know what it was. I hate cringe humour. I think.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I love Extras. Have you seen Extras?
Extras is great.
Extras is actually good, but I think it's a different kind of cringe humor because you know the people are in on it in Extras, like because it's basically Ricky Gervais plays an extra, like an actor where he wants to be a big actor, but he's an extra in everything, and he's always an extra in films of like really famous people. So like Daniel Radcliffe's in an episode. Patrick Stewart. Ben, what's he called? The guy from Night at the Museum.
Ben
Stiller.
Ben
Yeah.
Stiller, yeah.
He's disappeared, hasn't he?
Yeah, that was a bit.
Nick Fury, I can't remember what is it, his actor's
Samuel
name.
L.
Yeah,
Jackson.
he's in it. Like it's got loads and loads of famous people in it, and it's a different famous person. I think David Bower's in an episode. It's a different famous person in each episode, and they play like a worse version of themselves.
Yeah.
So they're always
Yeah.
horrible, or there's something wrong about them, or whatever. And Ricky Gervais kind of like plays off that, and that's funny because I think
Wow.
everyone kind of knows that, like
Yeah.
you know that everyone's in on it, so it's cringy, but you're like, okay, it's like still funny. But I found with The Office, it's just like bullying this guy, and it's just sad to watch. I just find it so difficult because it's like This guy who thinks, and the other thing is as well, is I've been that guy, like so many times in my life. I've been Ricky Gervais's character.
This
I
is
am as well.
the ironic thing about it is I think I like The Office more because I don't like Ricky Gervais so much.
Yeah, fair. I think it's difficult when you've got a kind of like personal, like you've been in that situation before to watch that and
it's
be
not
like,
a fun character to relate
The thing,
No,
thing is, like, that's why I find it funny though, because
Oh,
I
fair.
have been that person.
yeah,
And it's funny. I find it quite funny to look back and like, oh god, like good thing I'm not like this anymore.
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I've grown past this, or I could have been like this. And it's kind of funny to sort of.
yeah. I mean, fair enough. Everyone. This is the great thing about like humor is that it's
Everyone
entirely
finds,
subjective.
Yeah,
so
I do think the
everyone
American
finds
one's much better.
I love the
I think the American one works a lot better as a series.
The American Office is great, and I'll see if you agree with me. Until Steve Carell leaves.
I haven't
And
seen
then-
that far.
Okay. Do you know he leaves or is
I
that
know
a
he
spoiler?
leaves.
Okay.
I don't really care about spoilers.
I think they were like, okay, because he left. He said it was he felt it was done, and he was dead on because straight after that, I think there's 2 seasons basically, and they're just not very good. Like Pam and Jim fight for no reason. They just suddenly
Close
have this conflict, and it doesn't make sense. They look for all these different bosses, and it's played by different people. So there's like James Spader, Will Ferrell's in it for a little bit. Catherine Tate turns up for a bit, and it's like they're just not as good as Steve Carell, and it's
Yeah.
like endlessly trying to fill this void that he left behind, and it's just not funny. And then there's like they add all these new characters who are like fine, but they're just not that great, and it basically ends up being like you just should have ended it with Steve Carell leaving. I don't know why you've like forced it to keep going. It's bizarre. I don't know. I think it just was loved that much, and then they learned their mistake with I think Parks and Recs and they fixed it. But I think it was loved that much that they were like, oh, we just got to keep going for like the fans and stuff. And they want to end it. But that was an interesting discussion about sitcoms
Like,
at the
like
end.
I said, I think the American Office works a hell of a lot better as a series than the British Office.
Yeah.
Well, there's just more of it, so they've got more time to go into like depth.
But the British Office, I think, works as just like a backdrop for skits.
Yeah, I think so too.
The British Office essentially had a few characters in their sort of whole thing, and then once you'd explored that fully, you were just sort of out of.
Yeah. I think like as the other thing about the American Office, which is good, is it goes into the lives of the other workers like way more.
The British Office was supposed. I think the very concept of it was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah.
Like a parody of what you experience in an office.
Yeah.
I did see a good film recently. Oh, I've got something nice to talk about. Have you seen The Personal History of David Copperfield?
No.
I've seen the trailers for it.
It's really good. And the reason I thought of this is because it's made by Armando Iannucci, who did The Thick of It. Have you seen The Thick of It?
Yes.
Holy shit, is that series hilarious.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie that they made of it as well?
Did they make a movie?
Yeah, it's called In the Loop.
Did you watch?
Oh.
And they go to America and it's so
Did
funny.
you watch Death of Stalin?
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Because I think that was made by the same guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's also Armando Iannucci. I like Death of Stalin. I didn't think it was as good as this new one, Personal History of David Copperfield. But he's done my favourite sketch of all time. Before he did The Thick of It, he did a show called The Armando Iannucci Show, which is basically just a bunch of like really surreal sketches. I think it's the very first episode. It's not going to be funny if I explain it, but I'll explain it anyway.
I'll
But
go-
watch
But
it.
you will anyway.
I'll
but
go
yes.
watch it after.
So it's like these 2 people are like looking around a house and like everything's like made out of paper, and so like when they realize this they like start punching all the like furnishings and stuff, but it's just paper, and it sounds dumb but it's fucking hilarious when you watch it because it's just really surreal. This woman that's like trying to sell them this like paper house, and then like I swear she like takes off her like costume and it's just a kid and he like runs off and it's just really weird. It's just so weird. And then there's one sketch that he does where like there's a sniper in this like little village that like shoots at people, but everyone really loves him for it because it like cures their like anxiety and stuff. And it's like this guy who's like seriously just trying to kill all these people in this town, and he like just lives in this like church tower. But they're always like, oh, he's really great. Like I'm just walking out, he shoots at me, and it makes me all excited for the rest of the day. And it's like, what the fuck? It's so weird. Honestly, watch the Armando Iannucci show. It's really
Is it on an actual show?
yeah. It's Channel 4. It's like 10 episodes long. It's like it's a sketch show, but it's honestly so funny. Give it a watch. It's really, really good.
There's a lot of like really underappreciated like little comedy things out there.
Yeah.
Like have you ever Garth Marenghi's
Yeah, the Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. Whatever.
Dark Place.
With Richard Ayoade in it. Have you seen that?
And I can't believe I forgot his name. He's one of my favourite guys ever.
Me?
No, not you. Definitely not you.
You need to do a TV show. I think
I'm joking.
Garth Marenghi's
Um,
Dark Place is a show.
Matt Berry. It's got
Yeah,
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry
I love Matt
from
Berry.
Mighty Boosh. It's basically like these people made a really low budget show about a hospital that like is always getting attacked by supernatural stuff. So you kind of see part of like you see the episode
It's like
that they filmed, but then you also see like interviews of
Yeah.
people that were in the
it's,
episode.
it's like a parody of like 70s
Like schlocky sci-fi stuff.
yeah,
But
like
what's-
70s
Yeah.
like hospital shows and like things like Magnum PI and things like that.
But it's really funny because everyone is acting as like wooden as they can. So Richard Ayoade is just so great. I think has it not also got Julian Barrett in it as well? Or am I imagining that?
I can't remember.
Maybe
the
not.
only
Maybe it
the
isn't.
only two actors I know by name are Richard Ayoade and Matt Berry.
Richard Ayoade was in a HSBC advert recently, and it's fucking great. Have you seen it?
I don't remember it.
I just really
Guys,
enjoy
how
it.
long is the podcast going?
Yeah, it's gone on for a while. We're doing what we did last episode,
Yeah,
where we
yeah.
just didn't end it. for, like,
Well, we started it just after
It's-
3.
yeah,
it's almost 6.
we've been going
Yeah,
on for
we
2.5
should finish up
hours.
here, I
Yeah,
think.
I have work to do.
Yeah, we should.
To be fair though, much better episode this
Much
week
better
rather than
episode,
last
yeah.
week. Yeah, I think so. And next week we get to talk about story and
Story
stuff in
versus
video
mechanics.
games. Yeah, which I think will be an interesting discussion. So,
So,
thank you all for joining us on this
You-
wonderful journey of
you're welcome.
tangents and nonsense.
you're welcome, Tom.
And
Mainly
great-
nonsense.
Nonsense?
Nonsense.
Nonsense. Like that guy we talked about at the beginning.
Oh, bringing it all
What
back
a-
around
what
in a circle.
Oh, speaking of which, have you seen
No, Tom, we're
No,
finished.
no, real quick. What's that guy? James Acaster. Have you seen his just brilliant genius comedy? It's
Yes,
like
I
three-
love James
three,
Acaster.
four
I've seen him
part.
live at Leadmill.
When?
He did it wasn't like a proper show. He did like when he bought his book out. He did like a
Oh right.
book sort of
Yeah.
reading thing. It was really funny.
I love his like 4-part that he did for Netflix.
Yes, repertoire.
Oh my god, it's just the funniest thing I think
It's
I've ever
honestly genius. It's
It's-
brilliant.
seen. He's great.
He is great.
I want him to do another Netflix special.
Yeah, he
Fucking
should do.
hell, he's so good.
He's got a show on UK TV Play with Josh Widdicombe.
I know. I've heard it's not very good because I don't like Josh Widdicombe though, so that's
Do you
probably
not?
why.
It's got some really funny moments.
Yeah.
Cool, guys, we
James
finished up the
Acaster, James
podcast.
Acaster.
But that is the perfect, going back around again. His repertoire thing.
Oh yeah.
That's the perfect
yes,
like.
because it like
Oh, what a legend!
Really
I love
good,
James
really
Acaster.
good.
Anyway, thank you for
Anyway.
listening. It's been a lot of fun. It's been good to do this again, getting back into the creative spirit, and we'll be
Yeah.
back again next week. Hopefully, I'll upload this. I'm being really lazy recently with these, but yeah, we'll get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, we'll.
And I will-
The next one will be deviating from what we usually do.
Why's that?
We'll be doing the whole story mechanics chat.
I mean
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
just-
part of a segment that already exists.
Yeah, we normally
That's
do
the main
like
discussion segment.
we normally do a discussion, don't we?
This,
Alright, Owen's up.
It's
No, you
sort
need
of
to
part-
stay to say bye. We always say bye at the end
Oh,
of
he's
the day.
gone.
He's left. Owen is definitely left and is not in the room anymore.
I don't think he's coming back.
Yes, thank you for listening. You've been great. You've been a great audience that
Thanks, Tom.
definitely exists. Just Katie. Sure, we haven't done a shout out for
Yeah,
Katie
we
in a
haven't
long
shouted out.
time.
We haven't.
Everyone, you ready? Jonathan goes first.
Shout out to Katie.
Go on, say it. You gotta be
Oh,
polite.
he's,
It's
I
Katie.
think his joke is that he was doing the sing clap, which is a
Oh,
different.
that's an old meme, man.
joke.
Yeah, that's such an old meme. I even forgot about that. And I'm the legend of old memes. You gotta say shout out to Katie.
Shout out to Katie.
Yeah, Katie, you get a shout out from me as well.
Does she now?
Yeah, she does. Yeah. Anyway, fun episode. Good to bring back all the old memes. Yeah,
Classic me.
it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, Owen
You're
and
welcome.
Jonathan, my lovely, beautiful co-hosts
Oh, thank you.
Aw,
that are just
thanks, babes.
the best. Okay, see you later. Everyone say bye.
Bye.
Oh come on, it's our first episode back. Bye. I'll take that.
All right, see you.
Come on. Come on.
Bye.
Come on.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, good.
So long, farewell,
And thanks for
auf
all the
Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Hey, we get a song. Finally,
Yeah.
we finally got a song.
You're not
I
welcome.
could try and cut that and then put it at the end of every episode.
Yeah, do that.
I didn't even finish the line.
I know it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is
still
going to
do
be
it
a good bit.
I'll still do it anyway. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Watching? Listening.
Listen.
Thank you for watching, listening, reading, cooking.
Thank you for
Oh,
watching
dear.
with your ear holes.
Thank you very much for listening with your ear and nose holes, because everyone knows that sound goes through the nose. Goodbye.